We locked in, and you know we here in the kitchen. It is live. We here, y'all, right here. It's Tuesday. We had to change the date. You know it's football season, so we had to change it up a little bit. But listen, we got something new for y'all today. Listen, our co-host, Lady T, is about to start a whole new thing for y'all. She got something going on. We not cooking in the pot today. You know what we gonna do? We gonna get the stir and we gonna stir the tea up. Tea, 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 tea. Cause Lady T is taking over right now, y'all. I'm just gonna sit back in the cut, and Lady T is about to show y'all what it is to be Lady T. And today's topic is be honest now. You see how we got the X I can't even say it.
The explanation point.
You see how
Yes.
she got that right there, right? Be honest. Can you see where you've been brainwashed? So, Lady T, you know we got a returning guest. Oh, our big brother. You know what I'm saying? We got Lewis up in here taking some time out of his personal day. So let's make it juicy for him now. So Lady T, take it over. Without a further ado, we're gonna let Lady T take over, yo. So go ahead, T. Let us know what's going on today.
Okay, so I just want to, take a moment and thank you because you have allowed this to happen. You have put yourself to the side and allowed me to have the topic and, the control, the questions. I'm so excited. So I just had to thank you, take time to thank you, like really thank you. I appreciate it because, I got questions too. So,
Okay, let's
okay.
go. So we
All right.
go ahead.
So this is something that has been on my mind for a while. These topics that I'm going to start bringing are things that I think about regularly. And this question about brainwashing has been something because I can see myself in the things that I've been brainwashed in. So I'm not going to say just yet the things that I know I've been brainwashed in because I have my little, 2 item things, just 2 right now. So I want to hear, if you take a moment, just a moment, think about what life is like, how we live in this system of life with people, and just your everyday your experiences. The things that you do regularly. That somehow it is changing your mind to think and your emotions to react. So really, that's why I say, I'm going to start this as a be honest, take that moment to just say to yourself, am I being brainwashed on something? I have mine. So either one of you, please tell me, can you think of anything that without a shadow of a doubt that you have been brainwashed to become, to do, behave, whatever, anything is all yours.
So we're gonna start with our guest. Go ahead, Mr. Lewis.
Listen, this one tough. I didn't know what I was walking into today. It's a tough one. Uh,
Be honest.
man, listen, I don't know. I really got to think about that.
Okay.
Like
No problem.
I can't lie. That's really a tough one.
Okay.
Um, yeah, it's a tough one. I
We'll come
think
back to you. I want you to think about it.
no. Listen, I was going to say something. I was going to say
What?
that, like, if I had to be brainwashed, if I think like something, and to be honest, like this whole like every man got to be the alpha male.
Mm,
Like I think that is something that is definitely like brainwashing a lot of that society today. Like I got to be got to be that alpha male, but I really don't think people understand what an alpha male is or what they look like.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So if I had to say something, I would say that, and I would say by society standards, society thinks that the alpha male is the loudest one in the room. Uh, the one that listen when I step in it, people gonna listen to me. They gonna do what I say, and that rah rah attitude. But to me, that's not what an alpha male is. Like, I feel like I have a calm demeanor, but people wouldn't see me as an alpha male. They're like, he too calm, he too laid back. But if you look at nature, all the leaders of the pack, they always the most calm one. You know, those are the real alpha males. They literally the calmest one. Like even lions, the men don't hunt. The women go out. They bring lions. You've never seen a male lion hunt unless he was hungry. If he's the leader of the pack, the women go hunt and they bring the food back. Look
to the
that up.
cubs. Yeah, to the cubs.
Not to the cubs. They bring it back, and he'll eat first.
Oh no, I never saw that.
Male lions, all they do is they sleep all day, and then they wake up to eat and make love. That's it.
That's a life. Wow.
But yet, right? Listen, yet people associate alpha male with, yo, you got to be out here, you got to do this, you got to be aggressive, you got to, and then I'm like, no, like I said, I'm an alpha male. Like I feel like, I get people to follow my lead, and I don't have to be aggressive, I don't have to be loud, I just got to be me. So if I would say brainwashed, because at one point I felt like, I had to fit that image of, I got to be aggressive if I want people to, follow me or follow my lead, stuff like that. Even with my lady, I felt like, I had to be aggressive. Then I realized, no, I don't have to be that. So I would say that's my thing, my brainwash.
That's a good one.
Mm-hmm. Chef, it's on you now, Chef.
Yep.
y'all laughing, but I'm gonna keep 100 with you.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm honest transparency. I really wasn't like, I ain't really too much brainwash me, like, because I guess I always been the type of person that do my own thing. I didn't really follow nobody. Like when I was being bad and mischief, nobody said, yo, let's do this. I was the one saying, yo, let's do this. You feel me? So I was the one with always getting into something. It wasn't nobody, like, even as a child, I just didn't do that. So it's not like I wasn't easy. And even to this day, as a man now, like I'm not easily like brainwashed. I'm not like, you can't tell me something. I gotta find out. Is that real? Is that true? Nah, let me find out. I was not, so it was like, I wasn't the type of person to be brainwashed. Like if I didn't feel like something was right, I'm gonna find out. And especially if I didn't feel it in my heart. You know what I'm saying? Even as a teenager, I was like, man, that's bullcrap. So I'm not a person that was easily brainwashed. Never been like that. So so that's why I was like, okay. But then I do wanna address when you said about the man being the alpha and I mean, so in other words, you saying what society has as the image of alpha male? That's what you're saying? The society, what society thinks?
That's what I'm saying. I'm thinking society is just in general has brainwashed us into believing that alpha men are like aggressive and like they give off a demeanor that's like, for example, like they say like men not supposed to cry. So like if you cry, like you can't be an alpha if you cry. I can't be an alpha if I show emotion. Like, first of all, we don't even know what tears mean. Think about that. Tears literally are an overflow of emotion. You cry when you're happy, you cry when you're sad, you cry when you're mad. So you don't even know what emotion you have. But if a man sheds tears, he can't be an alpha, right?
All right, so I feel like I'm just addressing what you're saying. Like I feel like men that not, I don't know your circumstance, but I think that comes from men that don't have fathers in their life. Their fathers, because you know what, my dad, I'm gonna keep 100 with you. Like my dad never said, "Why you crying?" And if I got a beating, now watch it. Now I'm different. Now look, hey, Lewis, brother, I'm serious. And Lady T, I'm dead. Y'all joke, y'all. I'm not joking. I don't get up here and lie. Listen, when I used to get beatings, my dad used to beat me more because I wasn't crying. So see what I'm saying? So I didn't that my thing was like, yo, you ain't crying? Oh, you ain't, you feel me? So like And then as I got older, my perspective on crying changed because, you know what I'm saying, my walk with Christ made me more, have compassion in my heart. And I'm not just saying, I'm being so real. Like, my compassionate on certain things is different than most people. You know what I'm saying? So I'll cry, like I'll listen to some music and yo, it touched my heart, and I'm just sitting there emotional, like worshiping, praying, I'm crying. Listen, look,
But
I'd
to
have
that,
done it. I'd have done it at work, bro. People like, you okay? I said, look, I'm just worshiping. They don't know what that means.
right.
Seriously, they don't know what that means. And I'm like, I'm just worshiping. I was thinking, but he's like, tears just, coming down. You know what I'm saying? But everybody don't know that. You're right. Everybody don't know that. So it's different from everybody to see that. So when I hear you, and I feel like, and from my eyes, you know, uh, that most men that don't have that male figure, they would, most men that have good fathers wouldn't tell you that it's not okay to cry. It's okay to cry because, like I said, like you said, that's just what the world think, but it's all right to cry. It's okay because guess what? It shows that you in tune with the moment. Because the moment we could be someone passing. The moment could be when your child's graduating from college or your child is graduating from school. That's a moment of joy and happiness because tears doesn't mean always sad and sorrow. It's about joy and happiness because it's something that really touches your heart. That's it's like it's undeniable. You can't deny that. You know what I'm saying? And look, I want to put this up. So, when you look at it like that, it's just that. Look, in this country, y'all reading that?
Mm-hmm.
Can you see it?
I can see it.
Okay.
It's like
That's interesting. That's a statement.
bold statement.
Yeah, yeah. Whatever is the lesser is scrutinized and pushed out.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
But just what the statement that he made, just think about the world we live in right now. It's look, watch this. It's men that's trying to be women and women trying to be men. And if you look at that whole thing, let's look at what's pushed out in the TV, what's pushed out in social media, what's pushed out in the music. They just thinking, oh, it's okay to do that, it's okay to be this, it's okay to do that. So then you got these people with these messed up minds already. They thinking it's okay to just be whatever they want to be, but not the right thing, not what they supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? So that has a lot to do with a lot of perception. We talk about deceiver. The deceiver is out there. He gonna deceive you. He gonna trick your mind. You know what I'm saying? But go ahead.
But speaking to that, even think about the music, right? And the music, they pushing this whole you got to be rough and tough. You got to be from the streets and stuff. And the kids are listening to that, they absorbing that.
Yeah,
And now they
yeah.
thinking you got to be that. Well, listen, because like I said, when I was growing up, I'm listening to hip hop, and I'm like, well, I'm not selling drugs, but I got to sag my pants and I got to be this way because
What
that's
they
what the
image.
girls want. That's what they like. So I got to be that. And then to like I said, growing up, that was the image of an alpha male. Like you rough, you tough, nothing get in your way. But in reality, like as I got older, I started to understand, what it is. Like I'm a protector, I'm a provider, and I don't, I'm not out here like, what I mean, like I've got to be aggressive or, yeah, I did 20 years in the pen. I'm not. No, like, I've never been locked up. Don't desire to get locked up.
Word.
None of that. But I'm gonna protect and provide. And I think that we got to change certain images of what society has set. And like you said, with that comment of pushing stuff out, like it's not okay. Think about this in 2024, it's still technically not okay for a man to cry. If he cry, he's soft. But if he put on a dress, everybody gonna applaud and clap for him.
It's crazy, but you're right. You're right. Y'all brought that up, and that's a great one. I like it. Chef hasn't really given me anything. We're gonna get it out of him sooner or later. We're gonna get it out because he's a little, in denial, possibly. I don't know, but I'm gonna call it in denial because look at it like this. Hear me out. So, okay, that right there. So let me say this. Okay, we all have been brainwashed, right? We know that there's something about our reality and what we see in the world has altered our thinking, and it's a manipulation in a way of taking us away from our independent thought. That's how I see it. So I know for me, I'm going to say for me, all right, what I've known to see as brainwashing in my life is, this might sound crazy, but Black people are not good at math, and I haven't been good at math. I knew I was gonna get y'all. I knew it.
What, man?
Yeah, I
Yo,
had to. I
okay.
had to bring that out because it's something that really affected me, right? And in my older age, and seeing it now, I've always grown into, I'm not good at math. I'm not good at math. And I kept hearing myself say, I'm not good or I can't. And that I used to tell my daughters all, I say, don't say I can't. Don't say I can't, because you can do all things, right? And so, and then I saw myself saying things about, when it comes to math, right? So that was one thing. I know I threw you off with that.
No, you
But
didn't because I'm gonna
no,
address that because you
okay.
know what I do. You know what I do.
Yep. Math
Oh,
teacher.
okay.
Yep. You
Yeah,
are a math guy. Yes.
we'll
But
address
you
that.
understand me though, right?
Of course.
Okay. And I think that was important because for me, it kind of took me away from the study of math, because it was like, I kept hearing it in my brain and hearing the thought, and it would take me away from it. So that's what I see as one thing. Another thing that have been brainwashed in my life is the dancing. Um, Dancing is a beautiful thing that we have not done in many years, for some reason. And I will call it's been sexualized. Okay. I'll say that. Too sexualized. Okay. I'll give it that. But there's something about the spirit of dance in the body that we have gotten away from, and we've been brainwashed about it. There are ideas and thoughts and concepts about, you don't want to dance, you don't want to do this, you don't want to put yourself out there to look a certain way, especially for women. you know, we've talked about strippers in the past. We're not going to have that conversation now, but I understand that there is a dance in it. We see other cultures dancing, beautiful dances. I wanted to be a ballerina when I was a little girl. I put my daughter in ballet. She hated it. So I tried those things that I couldn't do in my young age through my daughters, right? But because I love dance, I know there are other people out there that also love dance, but we have been brainwashed that we can't dance. We can't express the creative juice flowing through our bones in a celebration with music. That's how I see it. I know I threw you off with that one too, probably. Did I, Chef? Well, did I just give you something that was just like, are you serious? Really? This one right there?
You say you was brainwashed. We can't dance. I don't understand that.
Yeah.
Do you understand that, Lewis?
I mean, think about church people. I'm a church person. I'm a church going person in the past. I grew up in the church. So
okay.
Church people.
Okay. So what do we, I don't understand. What do you mean? You got to elaborate on that one.
I'm assuming what you're saying is like, so being in the church, in the church, you can't be part of the world, right?
Right.
So like if you in the church, and I think this is the old mindset of the church, if you in the church, Sunday on Saturday night, you shouldn't be in the club dancing, or partying and stuff like that, because that's
Right.
godly, that's too worldly.
That's right.
So if you doing that, you a sinner, and then they're gonna judge you on Sunday morning when
That's
you come.
right.
But see, I think, Chef, you're looking at it from a different perspective, because
what type of dancer is she talking about?
Just dancing.
Okay,
we're not talking about no strippers. I said not the stripper type dance, not sexualized either.
Okay, so let's get one thing understand. I want to understand it, because guess what? There are other cultures that do dancing, and it is very like close, like Spanish do merengue, bachata, and salsa. Guess what? That is a actual. Those are dances that require you to get close, but it's a routine though. You see, you understand what I'm saying? So when you say dancing, you got to be more. Are you talking about going to the club and dancing? Because guess what? Those are actually dances that they work. You got listen. You have to practice at that. So see what I'm saying? So and guess what? It can come off exotic. They do, but guess what? It's in their mind that they're actually dancing. They're not dancing to a secular, or they're not dancing to be sexual. They're actually dancing. That's why that, and I'm not looking for it because I know that that's one thing I wanted to do. You know what I'm saying? In dancing is get, but I can't do it now. I'm too old now. But I wanted to learn how to do. No, I'm serious because salsa and merengue, they go side to side like that. You know what I'm saying? But besides, but that's what I'm saying, T, lady T, you got to see you. That's what your
Okay.
brainwash was
No,
because you just thought what. So what
no.
type of dance you wanted to do?
So okay, I'm not talking about stripper stuff. We're not
I
talking about
know,
that.
I
We're not
know. I'm not
talking
looking at
about.
that.
If
So
you're saying a club, it can be a club where people are dancing. If they're dancing together with a partner or they're dancing by themselves, but it is a group of people that just go out and dance. Right? They don't do that. We as I'm in my 40s. I'm gonna say 40-year-olds, maybe younger, probably older. We probably don't do a lot of dancing like we used to as we grew up. That's what I'm saying because it
bumping and
was.
grinding.
It's not. See, I'm not a bumping and grinding type person, so
Okay,
I
so
don't
what
do
type
the.
of hey,
It's a
hey, hey,
dance.
coach, talk to me, coach. You know I'm keeping it real. You talk about bumping and grinding? What you talking about?
Okay, you're a guy, so maybe it's from your perspective. You see it as a bump and grinding thing, but it's more of a being able to express the body in a dancing way where you're not bumping and grinding for any sexual pleasure. Take the sexualization out of it is what
All
I'm
right.
trying to get you to say. It's still, but because it has been sexualized, that's why I say it's a brainwashing to remove it, to take it out of our lives because it has been sexualized. That's what all I'm
There you go.
saying.
Look, hold up. Now, see, look, watch this. See, CT. Look, my man, Seafood King. This what I'm talking about. Hey, check this one out. Yeah, see, dang, there you go. See that disco stepping.
Yeah.
That's the type. See, so what type of dance you talking about? Because there is
That's
dances
the
that we do.
dance. Okay. He
Yeah,
said the
we do
words.
that.
Okay, congratulations. I mean, congratulations. Okay. Thank you for saying it. But yes, the dance. I'm not talking about anything bumping and grinding. The hustle,
But
disco,
the church,
stepping.
the church,
Yes.
the church didn't. They didn't go against that. What you right there? What you see?
Oh,
They
give
didn't
me
go
a
against that.
break. Okay. So I
No.
just gave you that. No, the church has. Okay. The church does not like you going out there and, having that dance stepping time. And then especially if you drank a little bit too much and then go to church the next day,
Oh,
you know.
there you, hey, there you go.
Okay.
Now you
But
do.
if you
Now you do.
dancing, juice is going to be required for hydration. You
Oh
need
man,
a little bit of, and sometimes
yo,
you might need some courage.
hey,
Courage
you
juice.
see.
Nothing
Look,
wrong with it.
now you doing extra on it now.
No, I'm not. But
Nah,
I understand. But that's one, or another. So the dancing thing. But no, I really want us to really think about it because I feel like brainwashing is very important. One big thing that has become a major brainwashing for each and every one of us is television. The images, what we see, what we look at on, the internet. And we are really kind of focused on people's stories. We can get brainwashed into a story and not getting deeper into the meaning of what is really being said. And so I like this topic because I'm all about know yourself. Pay attention to what you are really thinking about all the time and what you heard somebody else say or what you heard the story tell yourself. Or look, I have a lot of people that judge me based on I'll give you a little bit about me and then you'll judge me and then you'll put your narration on it. You'll be like, oh, that's the narrative for their life. I put the story together for them. This is how they really are. People do that all the time. I always talk in codes. I cannot help it. I talk in a coding type way where I don't give a lot of information because it's not meant to be said. When it's supposed to be said, it'll be said. But when I'm supposed to speak, I'm going to speak whatever comes out of my mouth. Chef likes it when, my confessions come out. I knew he was excited
Yo,
last week with my
don't,
confessions. When I did my confessions,
you
I'm not
caught
gonna
me
sit
off
here and talk about it.
guard. You caught me off guard. I didn't tell you to do that.
Exactly.
Don't
Exactly.
put
But
me in that.
no,
You
no, no,
did
no.
that
I'm
because
not
your
putting
heart
you in
made you
it.
do that.
No,
Oh,
no,
don't
no,
be
no.
saying.
Exactly. Hear me out. But it was good because it came out right on time and it blessed you. It gave you a good feeling. You was happy about it, right? I said it and I didn't even realize I was going to say it that day. It came out naturally. That's my point. But these are the things that I want us to do, is to think more about our brainwashing, to think about what we're putting in our mind or we're putting in our perspective that takes away our independent thought. We are not thinking for ourselves. We are really taking stories. We are taking ideas and concepts of other people and just be like, oh, we're the masses. We're all going to go in this direction because everybody's going here. Come on, let's go. Come on. The herd is going. We are the sheep, right? I hear Chef always talk about we are the sheep, the shepherd. The shepherd is there and we know his voice. We are not supposed to be that way. We are not supposed to be a herd of sheep going into this big floodgate. That is not the way. The floodgate is not wide open, sir. It's not. It is very narrow and very thin. And because it's very thin, you have to search for it. Having independent thought, being critical, taking the time to really have critical thinking, possibly doing that, question, why? Why am I doing it this way? People don't do that no more because what we like our gadgets to look at an image. I like that image. I'm going to go pay attention to that image, and we get distracted and not do what we're supposed to do. I mean, you get what I'm saying? Nobody want to have a comment?
No, I'm letting brother Lewis go ahead and
How you
jump on
feel
that. Go
about
ahead.
it, Brother Lewis?
I would say I get it and I agree, but I mean, like, groupthink is a real thing, like that's a real thing. So it's just, I understand completely what you're saying. And back to what you were saying about the judging you and the church and dancing and drinking and stuff like that. Uh Chef, don't get mad at me for saying this, but I think that's taking people further and further away from the church. Like, I feel like the church, when I was growing up, it was come as you are, but now it's a little judgmental up in there. And you said, why I say that?
Yeah.
I mean, because I feel like and I can't speak for everybody,
Be
but
transparent. I want you to always be transparent because this is the place for that. We don't.
right? No, 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 no. And
Oh, all right,
I'm not speaking
okay.
for what I'm saying is I'm not speaking for my opinions or my opinions, but like I know, going to church and stuff, and then you'll hear people saying, "Oh, look what she got on," or this, or they basically, like, they'll be judging you for whatever you did Monday through Saturday, and then you come in there Sunday and they talking behind your back instead of trying to get you this word and bring you closer to God, And
God,
yeah, chime in.
Oh, so look, just to show you, it's not. Look, it's not even about. See, look, guess I always tell people this: when you point the finger, right, and 3 other fingers is pointing back at you, right? So this is the thing: if a woman, it depends on the person, the individual, right? If you up there in the pulpit and you got this nice tight dress on, showing your cleavage, of course you're gonna hear people saying, "What? Look how she dressing," because you can still be conservative and still look nice. And so there is some type of appearance you should have. You know what I'm saying? Coming to a holy place. That's number one, because guess what? There are other laws and regulations you have to follow and abide by when you go out in the world. So the church is a sanctuary, right? Like me and you as a man, we can't go into this. If they say you got to have a shirt on, you got to have a shirt on. But guess what? We could go to the beach and not have a shirt on, right? But when you walk into the store, you got to have a shirt on. You feel what I'm saying?
I get what
Because
you're saying.
and so there is going to church. There is, and yes, we are all human. Yes, we all fall short, and we all make mistakes. And so, and I'm not defending or saying anything. I'm just saying that's how I'm speaking from a person that can look. Because guess what? If I was to go into church, I'm not going to say nothing to that person, but I'll be like, I probably would say to my wife, like, sister, such came. I said it to my wife, not to nobody else. I'll be like, she just coming in. She just coming in like a hoochie mama every Sunday, going up there. Look, hold on, going up there singing the word of God. Got a mini skirt on. And check us out. She get up there. She's showing everything. She singing and she bend over and you can see her underwear. Come on, bro. Be like, you got to be real, because that's and guess what? If you don't think for 1 second that there are men that look for that come to. I told this to Lady T. They come to church just for that. You missing the message now. If your eyes can't be on, how can your eyes be on God if you go in there and you see the women in there dressing like that? Your eyes can't be on God. Your eyes are focused on that woman that you going to see church every Sunday and she looking real right.
Okay, so to that I say, why not somebody pull her to the side and teach her, right? Like you said, church is a sanctuary, and church is also supposed to be teaching you something, right? And listen, I'm not the one to get up here and preach, because I barely go to church. I only go on Easter and New Year's, right? I'm gonna just keep it real. But
it's okay. You do that. You do that at least. Go ahead.
But I know, like, and some people might not know this, but I thought the word Bible was an acronym for basic instructions before leaving earth, right? So that means that we're supposed to be teaching people these instructions. So if somebody come into the church, instead of judging them, let's say I came to the church and I didn't have a shirt on. Instead of judging me, shouldn't they pull me to the side and ask me, brother, are you okay? You know what I mean? Like, what? You need a shirt? You know what I mean? Like, why did you come here with no shirt on? Right? And then that young lady came with that mini skirt on. Maybe that was the only thing clean she had in the laundry, right? So, but we don't know the story. We we don't know anybody's motive, when they walk into them church doors. But it's so odd to me, and I'm gonna be 100% transparent. That's probably the reason why I'm not in church how I'm supposed to be at church, because I feel like people are judging and people are not following the word. They following the person in the pulpit. You know what I mean? Like, the person in the pulpit is a great motivational speaker. Like Joel Osteen.
Right.
Joel Osteen got this whole huge church, right? And people come in there and they come into this church because they like Joel Osteen, right? Are they actually getting the word? Or it's because Joel Osteen on TV
and he sounds so good.
And he sound good. TD Jakes gonna drop something on me that I can put in my IG caption. So I'm gonna go there and I'm gonna follow TD Jakes, right?
Right.
Yeah. Is that true? Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There are people like that.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. And let me tell you something. We talking about brainwashing. Religion is the one thing you can use to brainwash people. Now I'm gonna drop that on you. Yeah. And we gonna
yes, thank you so much.
Brainwash everybody. Literally.
Yes.
Okay.
Look, I'm
not saying that's not. What open? What do it?
That's a beautiful door to open. I'm so glad you did it.
Only can look. Huh?
No, I said, listen, we
opening
the floodgates. Listen, and don't get bad at my opinion, but I'm just saying what it is, and I'm gonna speak.
I'm never gonna get that.
All right, people, so look, and listen, and I pray. I have a relationship with God, but I'm also realistic, and and that's why. And there was a comment in here like about college and something. I want to come back to that because that was a great comment about brainwashing people. But since we on this brainwashing, and I said what I said when I said religion is used to brainwash people, because it absolutely 100% is. And I hope nobody in the comments get offended, but we got to say what we got to say, because think about it. Back in the day, it was mental health wasn't a thing, right? You better pray it out. You better go to Jesus. Bring your problem to Jesus and pray it out.
Right.
But what happened? Jesus created therapists. Go to therapy, right? Why are we not teaching that in the church? Listen, if you got some, go to therapy, right? I get it. You sick. You got some ailments. The first thing I do when I get sick is pray. When the second thing I do is make a doctor's appointment because God put these doctors here for a reason. All right. So
Right.
that's what I'm saying about church. Like church should be a place. It should be one, a judgment-free zone, and two, it should be a place where people are teaching us. Like I said, to that back to that lady with the skirt on, it's not about what you say, it's about how you say it. So you don't have to go up there to that sister and be like, this ain't the right outfit for church. You could ask some questions. Sister, what was your reason for coming here today? You know what I mean? Maybe she was coming there to find a man. Maybe, hey, listen, sister, this ain't the right place for that. And that outfit. That's for Saturday night. You coming here, you coming here on Sunday, you know. Let me teach you about God and maybe give you that Ciara prayer so that you could go find that man that you so want. All right.
Right.
All right, so now I'm going to dive in. Let me get
All
my
right.
let me get my. I'm gonna dive in. All right. So here's the thing. So you got to understand. This is why I'll always say this, and ladies, I say this. All right. There are the right doctors and they're the wrong doctors. There are the right teachers and there are the wrong teachers. In this world, if you decide to go to school, when you went to college, right? You had to look for the right college for you, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, the right college that was going to fit you, that was going to teach you what you needed to teach, to have the right tools to go and be the best that you need to be in. So you listen, every church is not perfect. So when you say church, right, you got to remember you have to look for the right place, the right home for you, because guess what? Everybody's not ready to receive that, and that's what people fall short at, because they find one church and they say, oh, I don't like this, and they don't go. They don't decide to go and look for another place, because guess what? They don't want to travel. Two, they want to find something that's easy and comfortable. It's not going to be comfortable. It's not going to be easy. That walk is not easy. And it's not easy. Listen, it's not easy to be a Christian. It's not easy to walk in faith. It's not easy to understand why people do what they do. It's not easy. It's tough. And that's where the problem lies at for some, is because they don't want the difficult. They don't want to deal with that, because guess what? It is hard. If guys say, listen, I need you to go down to Perth Amboy. You live down in Roselle. Now you got to go to Perth Amboy on Wednesdays and Sundays and maybe Saturdays. People don't want to do that. They don't want to drive. They don't want to take it, because that's the place that God said, that's for you. And now I don't want to go there, because the church is 6 churches around by my house. They're not right for me. I don't want to go. Now I don't want to go. You know what I'm saying? Because they're looking at the wrong thing, and look, it's work, and everything in life is work. It's hard work. It's how much you want to put in it, how much dedication that you want to get out of it. If you want to have a good job, guess what? And your job requires you to be focused and disciplined. If you don't put all that focus and discipline in it, guess what? You're not going to get it. You're not going to get out of it what you're supposed to. And that's the same thing with church. If you don't decide to say, you know what, I'm going to devote my time to where the place and where God want me to go, I'll be doing that. It's sacrifice. And so many people, if it's not what you want, you as the individual, you're not willing to make that sacrifice. And the sacrifice is going to be for the greater good for you, your family, your children, and your grandchildren. It's going to be beneficial. But guess what? Some people don't want to wait for that. They say, you know what? It's too hard. It's too tough. I don't want it. I don't want to do
Too
that.
much work.
You know what I'm saying?
Too much work.
There you go. It's too much work. But guess what? That too much work is going to pay off. You know what I'm saying? I would not, if I didn't work and hustle and bustle and do all the things that I did, I wouldn't be the chef that I am today. I wouldn't be able to look. I worked a full-time job, went to school full-time, not bragging to say it. I'm just saying this is what I had to do to get what I wanted. But also I had trials and tribulations. So, and I always speak about the church, because that's where I think people fail to realize it's not so much about the church. It's the place that you want to go and worship, because every church is not made for you. You know what I'm saying? There are certain people, there are certain teachers, like you're a teacher. I know you now. You're called to be a teacher. And guess what? The place that you are teaching is the right place for you. The students that's supposed to hear you and receive it from you, they're in the right place, because guess what? You're the person That's your task. That's your journey. And those children that's under you that keep coming to you, that's your task. That's your journey. So, and those kids that's coming towards you are going to learn. They're going to grasp because you are the one that's supposed to teach them. And that's the same thing about church. The right pastor for you or any individual, you got to find it. And guess what? Those children that's coming to your school, they found you. Their parents might have put them there, but guess what? They found you. They could be like, man, I'm not listening. I'm not listening to Lewis. He don't know what he talk about. But guess what? You put it so eloquently because you're the right person for the job. And that's the same thing about the pastor for the individual. You got to listen. They're going to speak to you. And guess what? And then you're going to like some of the things that they have for you to do. You're going to be engaged. And guess what? You're going to stay. You're going to be devoted. And that's the same thing don't you want your students to be devoted to you? Because you do it genuinely from your heart, and that's the same thing.
Yeah.
I know there's corrupt, there's deceit, there's liars that's in church that do that, and guess what? There are some people that's in the pulpit doing the same thing. They're going out there raping and doing all this type of stuff. They're human. That's expected of them. Don't expect them to do something so great that they can't fall. They can't do something that's unexpected of them to do. They are a normal person. They human. It's never there, and it's in the Word of God. There is no perfect church, none. It will never be, because there is no perfect person ever in this life. Nobody on this earth is perfect. They're going to make mistakes, and that's where the whole church thing lies at, because people are looking for something in a person, and they listen. You said it. You got to get a relationship. That's the key. Get a relationship. Being able to, because the spiritual world is serious. It's real. That's no fake stuff. That's real. That's real. You know what I'm saying? Talk say that. Oh, so go ahead. Go ahead, Lewis.
No, I'm reading the comments too as they pop it up.
That's easy. You said, look, you see that lady T?
Okay, do better. Let's see.
See, that's it, man.
That's what I was saying, man. You know what I mean? Like I think that we brainwashed to believe that we have to be perfect to step into this church. Like we got to be without sin to step into this church. And I think that's what I was saying about being, brainwashed. Like, listen, so you telling me that if I have one Jack and Coke on Saturday night and I come to church on Sunday, I'm not good enough to have a relationship with God?
I don't know, son. I don't know.
All right, look at this. Listen to this right here. See how this person said, how do you find how do one find right church if they don't understand scripture? Yeah, that's most people are looking to find peace and security. It's hard for most because they are horrible leaders who are
manipulative. Yeah, so
let me
get in.
I said it earlier. Yeah, I said it earlier. Yeah.
Let me get in. Okay. So I agree with the last comment, and I'm glad you brought church up, because we are not questioning, we are not researching the Bible and the scriptures. We are listening to a sermon, a pastor that does not tell you all that they know and learned. They won't always. Even if they went into school, theology, I can never say the word, theology, and they got into, the field and have understanding, they don't always teach the truth of what they learned. But us as individuals are basically taking out our responsibility to seek it for ourselves and understanding the truth. And means going deeper. Like, we're so brainwashed with church that we are listening to sermons over and over and over and missing the mark. We don't know the true meaning. There is so much mystical mystery in the Spirit of God that is so ancient that we cannot truly understand it with our own mind right now. We are, okay, let me say it like this. We know that the Christianity really became big with the Vatican, with the Romans. They did a lot with Christianity, and because they've done so much, they've created a great big monster that we are praising, and we are saying that we are a follower of Jesus but have no true understanding. We are walking, and we are walking the big gate, and we're all being put into that big gate, don't know what we're doing because we have lack of knowledge. We are brainwashed because we think we are supposed to go to a Sunday school and learn that way. But if you don't go and get yourself, I don't have it in front of me, what is it called? The Strongs, the numbers of the Hebrew, getting the words and understanding, like what you're reading, you're not going to understand it. Or if you have somebody that has that knowledge, you have to seek those that are more knowledgeable, right? But we're not doing that either, because those that are more knowledgeable, are they really giving that information, that truth to you? Or are they manipulating you and telling you things that bring good in your ear, but don't really help you on the deeper level in the essence of the spirit? Because the spirit needs to have a spark of light, and it comes through the sound of the word of God. We all know that sound comes first. And if you hear the word of God and you know what you're hearing is true, if you are going to blaspheme the Holy Spirit of the truth, then that is on you. That is your choice. But you have a choice to be a productive person. Go seek truth for yourself. And we are not doing it. We are followers. We are not truly looking for God, and we are missing the mark, y'all. And so I'm so glad you brought religion up, but I was hoping this would come up. Thank you. Thank
But
you.
okay, watch this. Hey, Lady T. Okay. So since you said that, right? I want to know, what is the way then? Show us the way. We're here with ears to hear. And no, but you said we not doing it, so we want to know. Not us. I'm not talking about
No,
Lewis and myself.
everybody, each
Can
and
you
every
show
one of us,
can you
each and every
can
one
you
of
give us can you
yeah.
show us the way? Can you show us the
Yes,
way? What's the way?
the way. I don't have my book right here, but there are books that you have to learn. If you are a spiritual person, we're gonna say we religious people, right? Most of us on here religious people, right? So if you're a religious person, get to know your religion with the text, the manuscripts, the beginning of when those texts were written, because there's a story that came before that story. All the stories that we are hearing in the Bible are beautiful. It was, all inspired to be put together. But
Mhm.
understand that who created the New Testament, where the New Testament came from, where the Old Testament came from. Have an understanding of why people don't agree with our religions are all different. I'm learning this myself about why we don't agree with a lot of the Old Testament beliefs and the understanding. But we have to go back to the word. The word is the clear indication, but you have to go. You can't go to the King James Bible, honey. You can't do it. You got to go before those Bibles. You have to know the Hebrew words. You have to know the Latin
You
words
have
and the Greek word. But what I'm trying to say is there are mistranslations, there are misrepresentations in the Bible that are missing, that we are missing the mark because we're not going back into time to understand. If you want to be a follower of Christ, if you want to sit up here and say, I believe in the Lord, then go do your work. Because if you're going to plant your seed in the dirt and bury it because you don't do the work, you're not going to have tenfold, 100-fold. You need to do work. There is something in the word that is going to show you if you do the work. You're not going to sit up here and make my ears sound with joy if you're just telling me stories. No. I don't want stories, because that's a way of basically giving me propaganda of what somebody else dealt with. I mean, this is my life. How am I going to deal with the issues I have in my life? I have to talk to people and tell them, look, seek it in yourself first. Ask the question of what you really want, and ask the question of why you don't have it. Be honest with yourself and say, if I don't have it, why do I not have it? Let that answer come to you and be truthful. If you deny the spirit, you will always be lost. Okay,
you
the
gotta
truth will
learn.
come to
Okay.
you. The truth is going to come, but you have to be honest with yourself to say, is that true? And I'm going to accept it and work with it.
T.
Everybody has
But T,
something. I got mine.
before you get there, right? You have to be led to that place. How do you get to that place?
People always led to having something, whatever, we all go through suffering and pain, right? we are always going to be led to have truth come to us, to have love come to us, because we are lacking in some area in life. We're all of us, we all seek some type of direction, and because it comes through suffering, I'm sorry, most of the time we have to suffer through it. We have to see somebody else suffer. That is how we're led. Most of the time it's led through suffering. That's my point. But it can be given in your own time to say, I want to give myself this understanding so I can have a closer relationship with the Lord. You have to understand it personally. I can't sit up here and give you step by step, but I know one thing is for sure: you got to seek it for yourself, each and every one of us. And so most of the time it comes from suffering, though. And we go through a suffering time that makes us closer to getting to an understanding, and the truth comes to us. God reveals it. All right, I'm going to read. I'm going to stop talking, y'all.
You said a word there. Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
All right.
I appreciate that.
So, Lady T, I'm gonna ask you a question then. Okay. In your lifetime, right? You had to go through things because you struggle with certain things, right? So how did you once you went through those things, right? How did you recognize it and say, you know what? I got through this. I will never go through it again. How did you recognize that?
Well, one thing I didn't say is I will never go through it again. I don't know what I'm going to go through. That's number one. I don't like saying that because I've done a lot of mistakes, and I don't know if I'm going to make that mistake again, because I know I am a human and I fall short all the time. That's number one. But what I do is I be honest with myself. If you're honest with yourself to say, I know I have flaws, I know I am human and I make mistakes, and there's something about me that's just not right, please reveal it. And you just have to want that. And as time goes on, you're going to see things. You're going to have answers. You're going to be given, but you have to have ears to hear. Hearing is what is most important. Our words are being said, but it goes right through the other ear. Hearing needs to stay on the inside so it can really resonate in your body and in your life. Because if you hear a word that truth can vibrate into a way that makes your big aha moment change, oh honey, you're gonna have something great. So there's truth first, being honest with yourself. That's my number one thing. If you're being honest with yourself, truth will start to come. You start asking yourself how. When I say yourself, I'm speaking of spirit. I'm speaking the spirit within you. I'm not gonna sit up here and say God and all that, because you know what, God's name is just, we're doing too much with God's name. We have to say within ourselves. Every one of us have God within us, but you need to know what you are doing and walking through inside of you. Don't judge nobody else. Don't sit up here and tell them what they should do, because I'm not going to tell you what you should do. I'm going to tell you what might benefit you, but I'm not going to sit up here and tell you, oh, but you should do this. I'm going to say this might help you. So anyway, my point is that you have to want it for yourself. Be honest with yourself. Be very honest, because that's it. It's honesty. I mean, look at it like this. We're honest about the fact that we love Jesus, but yet we are hypocrites most of the time. We are selfish most of the time. We are always backstabbing and backbiting on other people most of the time. They don't like Christians most of the time because we get a bad rep because of the way we act. And why are we acting like this? We're supposed to be Christians and loving. But God, we sit up here and see how God is in the Bible. God was wrathful and he was, vengeful God. And then we have the loving God. So we're so confused. We're like, I think we're a little crazy. We got mental issues as people, and we're been so confused because of religion. Religion has made us divided among one another. So that's how I see it. First, be honest with yourself. So that's what I'm going to say. What else? What else you got?
Religion has religion made you divided? Has religion made you divided?
I don't think it's made me divided. I think that when I see people that are not in my religion, and I could see that there is a division, because let me say it like this. I'm a more open-minded person than most people. I can take on listening to anybody's religion and have an open mind to understand and respect it. A lot of people do not. A lot of people will cut you off and say you are wrong and you are not right and you need to come to Jesus and Jesus will bring you into the right path. That's not the way. That's not the way. The way is to speak the word of truth, and truth is love. And if you are speaking in love, then you are speaking God. God is love. There's nothing else. So if you know that you are sitting up here hurting, harming somebody, and you're not being in love, then you know you're wrong. I've done it. I've been harmful to many people in my life. I'm not going to sit up here and say I'm perfect. No, 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 no. That's not me. I'm not that. But I'm saying I know the direction because she has been speaking to me, within me, and I walk in it and I speak on it. Now is the time to talk because we're going through a change in life and we need to be prepared because you're not going to be saved by anything outside of you. It's inside of you. It's inside of you first.
There you go. Listen, Lady T, I agree with you wholeheartedly.
Okay. What is it, Chef? What's so funny? Because this snickering laugh.
Hey, look, damn, listen. I'm just listening to you. I'm just listening to you. I'm just letting you vibe out. I told you this Lady T time, y'all. It's woo, yeah. Listen, she went in.
She definitely went in. Listen, she definitely went in. And
Oh man, look.
listen,
So
Lady T, I agree with you. You know,
Okay.
so T, look. So Lady T, what can you share with some of your storms and your trials and tribulations you've been through that showed you how you spiritually you got strong? Let us know. Let some of these people know how your spiritual life has gotten stronger. You know what I'm saying? Tell the world how it got stronger.
Okay.
Like
I'm
some of
going
the
to look
lessons.
now.
Look, some of the lessons you
Yeah.
learned to make you stronger. You know what I'm
Yeah. Yeah.
saying?
Give me a moment. I'm looking around as I'm finding words to say this because I don't talk too much about myself. But I think for me, I have been a female first. Okay, that's number one. There's been a struggle to be a female in this world. Yes, I live in the United States. We have a lot of privileges that other women in the world in different countries do not have. Females are rejected and put to the side, and we're told that we're supposed to be a servant to the man. So that's number one. So having that upholding of, a female, I've had to be sexualized in some way. There's always somebody trying to put sexualization in life at a young age. I've dealt with that. But my mind at the time when I've gone through all the things I've gone through, I've had a daughter at a young age. I was 17. I got married and that didn't work out. I had another daughter. I mean, I've done the children, but not boys. Then I tried other relationships. All of them failed. I have no good male relationships. My struggle right now is because I see I have not communicated well in my past. That is basically it. Everything boils down to communication, but I also think it has to do with the type of man and the type of woman that I've created in life, in my surroundings. There are certain
Go ahead, Lady
men.
T. Let them know. Let them know, Lady T. That's what I'm talking about.
See how he gets
Get
so
your
excited?
story
I
out.
don't know why he
Because
does this
they
every
don't know
time.
like I know. Get it out. Get
Okay.
it out. Cause see, that's why God is moving. That's right. Get it out. Get it out. They don't know like I know. Get it out. Go
Okay.
ahead, finish. My bad. I'm getting excited right now. Whoa.
I see. I
Go ahead.
see. There are men and women in my life in the past that have hindered me and have harmed me with their words and with their actions, but I took it as I see you, devil. We say the devil, right? I see you, deceiver. I see you. And it was always God with me. There was always a spirit of goodness there. And I took it as I will do right. Even if I'm wrong, I'm going to do my best to do right. I tried my hardest to love and give love and be loved, but it did not work. It was abused and misused. I was never understood because I never communicated. I was not a communicator, or if I did communicate, it came off in a very wrathful way. I mean, rah, I'm biting heads off. But I did it because of passion, because I was surviving. I was going for my life. I was fighting for me. I was fighting for who I am and born to be. I had to be that survivor in life. So right now it's all about, but I'm blessed. So let me say this. There are so many things that have happened to me, but I don't have a misery type of story. I have a very abundant story of relationships that can throw off people if they really knew everything about me. But that I'm not trying to throw you off. I'm trying to make you understand I'm a person that can have a relationship with anybody. I tell you that. I love people and I hate people at the same time. You know, there's nothing wrong with it because I can have a conversation with anybody, any look, any style, any way. And I love it because we're engaged. And I look you in your face. Don't be, you know, shy. Talk to me. I like having a conversation because we have understanding. We are bringing some type of spirit within each other, you know, so I like a connection. But because of who I am, I might be a little bit too aggressive for some people. So I kind of, you know, try my best to stay back and be a little bit like, you know, I'm trying to be like a dove. Remember, I'm trying to be a little mild. I'm trying to be a little bit more different. But this right here, this little platform right here that Chef Dennis has given me, I can be able to express myself and I am grateful for it. Now, I am all about helping people to think for themselves. That independent thought is very important to me. There's something about us that we need to stop following the herd of other people and their manipulation, their comments of trying to bring us into their own agenda. I mean, everybody has an agenda. We need to pay attention. I feel like I'm trying to get the world to be like, you know, happier. You know, I want us to be getting together and be more like, you know, we're more of a family. I'll say this, especially the Black community. The Black community is not as strong as it used to be. And I am so disappointed about it. I feel like we're all, you know, against one another. I feel like we're not really helping each other. And then we hold to religion so much that it's not something wrong. It's really wrong. Something's not right. It just doesn't feel right. Religion should not be, you know, the way we're holding on to each other as people. It shouldn't be religion. It should be basically love. It should be for your human being, for the person that you are looking at. That is your reflection that God put in your life to say you are there for them and they are there for you. Figure out a way to make it so that you are not hurting each other and you're loving each other. We don't know how to do that. So we're all dysfunctional. So for me, I don't have a grand story about my life where I've had tragedies and things like that. Yes, I've had messed up relationships. I have been divorced more than once. I will say that because Chef wants me to say a lot more about myself.
No, hey, don't do that.
I'm revealing my little bit. I am not
that.
the type of person that I've you know left men because I cannot, you know, abide by their rules. I cannot be that type of person. If you want to sit up here and be in a relationship with me, it has to be reciprocity. It needs to be, we are doing it together. We are molding one another like this. We're coming together. We're not fighting. We're not arguing. But I've had a lot of that because men have this way of thinking that they know everything. I'm like, honey, you don't. You don't know everything. You don't. You need a woman. You know, but religion, I'll say this last thing. Religion has taken away the feminine, the woman. And that is why we are the way we are. We are dysfunction because we are off balance when it comes to masculinity and femininity. We're off. We're off. All masculine is not good. You can't deny the woman now. You cannot deny the womb. You cannot deny the aspect of feminine. I can never say that word right, but you understand me. There is something about that part of us we have been denied and been lied about, and that truth is going to be revealed. It will heal us because there's a balance. You have to have male, female. Male, you know, is all about, you know, the logic. Female is more on what emotions. You know, if you really pay attention to what we're supposed to be, we're supposed to be balanced, and we're not. We're off. I'm done.
Oh, that's it.
Oh, that was so beautiful. Thank you.
I mean, what do we say after that? You know, I do agree. You know, to the point where, you know, that whole masculine thing, that was to what I said earlier with the, you know, being you know, the alpha and everything, and like you said, it's like, you know, when you take those vows, the obey part, right? And I think people take that the wrong way too. You know, like love, honor, and obey. When women hear that, they like, no.
Hey,
But what it's supposed to be is the man is supposed to lead you, but he's supposed to be following God, and you're supposed to be following him to get a closer
there you
relationship
go.
with God. But we're
There
not talking
you
about that. You see what I mean about
Hey,
teaching? Like
Yeah.
we're not teaching those lessons, you know. And I think that when we say brainwash, it's people are everything is basically brainwashing us.
Yep.
TV, social media, everything. If you want to say that,
Everything.
that's because they leaving out the most important parts, you
Yep.
know. And I think that's what it comes to when you brainwash, and even with the religion, like they're saying one thing, but they leaving out the important parts.
Yep. Yep.
You know,
You're right. So right. Everything is brainwashing us.
You talked about when you brought up communication, you know, to that I'll say this. Being married, I've been married for over a decade. I decided years ago. I said, my wife was like, "Oh, you're not a good communicator," and I was like, "Well, what does that look like?" And then I went back to school and I jumped in a program to, you know, become a therapist, and I actually learned how to communicate.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people don't know how to communicate. And when I did that, the first thing I did was I said, you know what? I'm not going to argue with her anymore. And, you know, I think that frustrates her a lot sometimes too. When she wants to argue, I just step back and I listen. Because I think when when people argue, they think that like screaming at each other is communicating, and that's
Right.
not communicating.
No.
So, like, when she's here, I'll come here because
Yeah.
I need to show her. I need my energy. Like, I don't think people understand that energy is transferred. So
Yeah.
what I'm not going to do in that moment, I'm not going to transfer the energy that you're giving to me. So that's what I mean about showing how you could be an alpha male and be calm. Like I'll bring it here, and then I'll talk in the same tone that I'm talking to her in the morning or when we in a good mood. And then you know what it does? It bring her tone back down.
Yeah. Yep.
Because when you if you yelling and I'm yelling, who listening?
That's right.
And I learned that in therapy too, right there. What you said,
Right.
and I look, if anybody, I don't care if you could be at work anywhere,
Mhm.
if you disagreeing with somebody and they yelling and you yelling, y'all not listening. You're not hearing each other. You're not hearing because guess what? You want to get your point across. They want to get their point. Said forget what they saying. You like you block it out. So what I do, me at mine, we don't really argue that much. We newlyweds. We have been married 5 years, right? Look, nah, for real, we newly. We still learning each other, right? Me,
Right.
I'll be like, we went to therapy, right? Just nothing bad. We just healthy, right? So I told the therapist, I don't want to argue. I said, look, I go to bed. You know how some people say, go to bed, don't be mad. What? I go to bed, because guess what? This is what I do. I go to bed. I could be upset. When I go to bed, guess what? When I wake up in the morning, I ain't thinking about that. That's yesterday. I don't care about yesterday. God woke me up. So you know what? Forget about that. She be like, babe, well, I said, okay, what we want to talk about? Oh, she know it. She'll tell you to her face. She say, yeah, he don't argue. I don't do all that. Like you said, energy. I don't give that energy. Get out of here. I don't do negative anyway. Period. That ain't even a second thing. When I see all that negative energy, okay, it's my time. I'm gonna have to get up out of here. Wifey, brothers, anything. I don't want to hear that. I don't want because I know me. I could get upset. I could get mad, and I might say something. So see, I'm you call me what you want. I'll run. I'm out of this. See you later, because I don't want to get upset. I don't want to get to that point where I might have to throw something and bust you in the head. No, see, I'm human. I don't want that.
But to that, chef, what I'm gonna say to you is communicate to them, I'm leaving because you're not hearing me. You know,
Mm.
and I think in that, because you know what happens, people that know how to communicate have to teach people who don't know how to communicate with them. You know what I mean?
Mm.
That like that's a powerful tool. So it's just like don't just dismiss it like, oh, I'm mad or whatever. Like for you saying your wife, you like, oh, I'm gonna go to bed. What you need to do is, and this might make her even more upset, but it's teaching her. You need to say, if we don't address this tonight, I'm not addressing it tomorrow, or I'm not addressing it next week. When it come across your mind, we either gonna address this tonight, and we gonna get to the root cause of this problem, and we're gonna go to bed. Because one thing I don't do, I'm not sleeping on no couch. I'm gonna get in this bed.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm
hey, that ain't happening here. I ain't sleeping on no couch
because
either. I'm going to bed. Good night.
Because if I sleep on that couch, then I'm sending you a bad message. And I'm sending you a message that when things get hard, I'm gonna walk away.
Right.
and I'm gonna go find somewhere else to calm my nerves. And I will never do that. I will never, ever sleep on the couch. I'm gonna get in that bed. So you could toss and turn all night. I gave you the opportunity to address this. You didn't want to address it. So you know what? Good night. I love you. And we're gonna get up tomorrow and we're gonna enjoy our day. That's
Start a
it.
new day. That's
Hey,
right.
but and I'm gonna keep it real with y'all. Like seriously, like I always say this to Lady T. It's not. I'm not a goody two shoe. I'm not the best person. All I'm trying to push out in the atmosphere is love, peace, have a good time, enjoy life, but let Christ be the head of your life. But here's the thing. I say that to you, Lewis and Lady T. Well, listen, I got the perfect wife because you know what? She's so calm. She don't argue with me. She be like, "We gonna talk about this, babe." I'll be like, "All right, we talk about it tomorrow." Boom. She don't ruffle my feathers. She be like, "All right, we gonna talk about it tomorrow." And she'll wait till I get home. Wait till she get home. She'll be like, "Well, we need to talk about this." And I'll be, "All right, come on." Calm. And that's why I say I got the right one because you know what? There are some women that won't do that. They'll be like, we gonna talk about this tonight. She the
Right.
perfect wife for me. She the perfect woman for me because you know I'm not in the I don't like arguing, period. Like it just rubbed me the wrong way. So that's why I do what I do. And that's why I say I got the perfect wife. She is the best for me. You know what I'm saying? And I don't do I prescribe that for others? I mean, if you have the woman that can do that and they could talk about it the next day, that's perfect. You know what I'm saying for you. But you know, I have the right person for me because I don't
Mhm.
like arguing, and she'll be like, "All right, we're gonna talk about it tomorrow." And I go to sleep, she'll go to sleep. And I know what I know the word, you don't go to bed, man. And I know that. But for me, I'll be like, I just don't want to talk about it right now. Like I don't want to talk about it right now. And then she'd be like, okay. See, and that's what I said she the right person for me. You know what I'm saying? Because if it was a problem, then we'd be arguing and look, I dealt with some things back in in the past, like migraines. That's why I don't argue. Period. I dealt with migraines, and I'm not. I always say this, and I'll share this with you guys. I always say this. I tell my wife to this day and my kids, I'm never gonna let anybody rob me of my joy. Never. I never. Nobody, no man, no woman, no kids, nothing. You're not robbing me of my joy. Because when you get me to that point where I'm got a migraine, I'm upset, I'm stressed, nah, that ain't happening. I'm not doing that. I don't give that to nobody. I don't give that joy that I have inside to nobody. And I'm definitely not giving it to the adversary. I'm definitely not giving that to him. So he can forget that. He can stay down where he at.
So let me say this.
Yeah.
When you said about your wife said you're not a good communicator, you asked yourself the perfect question. What does that look like? Right? You said, what does a good communicator look like? It made you ask a question to find out. That's what we need to do more of. We need to ask the question of what it is about us that could look a different way or could be a different perspective. We don't do that often. We're lying to ourselves. That's why I think brainwashing has a lot to do with it, because we're not really paying attention to ourselves and knowing our own flaws and what we're basically like it's stopping us from being better. It's like, it's like our stronghold of whatever it is, keeping us from, having progress and doing better in whatever the part is in life. I think that question that you asked of yourself, to be a better communicator, to go out there and learn it, that's what we need to do. So I applaud you. That's what I like to see in relationships. Get out of yourself and learn something how to be better than yourself, or learn something how to grow within yourself. But it's progress. Stagnation is not for you. It's not for us. We are not meant to be sitting and doing nothing. We are meant to learn and grow and prosper life more abundantly. As I am learning that, I will continuously say that I believe that means that you are to have some type of growth. And stagnation of what we're not teaching ourselves is because we're lying to ourselves. So
And hey, Lewis too. Check this out. And you know what? What bugs me out is that some people go to church on Sundays, right? See, so I can say this because I just see it. I don't go to. No, I'm serious because I see it. So I can tell you, and this is what bugs me out is that people go to church on Sundays, right? They do the same thing every Sunday, and then when they come back out, they no change. You see what I'm
Right.
saying? So and that's because their heart is not really in it. Their mind is not. They're thinking they're going there. Oh, I'm going to church and I'm going to get praise. No, it's more than just that. You know what I'm saying? When you go there constantly, you want your heart to change. You want your mind to change. You want your perspective to change. Because I got to always say, you haven't been here a couple of times. You came on here, but you haven't heard it. And what for me was, I was not humble, bro. Trust me, I'm here. I'm quick to tell you, I was not humble. And I say, life have taught me how to be humble. But God said, okay, this is what you want to do. So I'm gonna show you. I want you to be humble. You know what I'm saying? I had everything. Guess what? It was taken away from me because of my actions, because of how I talked to people, how I treated people, people that I loved. You know what I'm saying? So I went through the storm. I learned how to be humble. You know what I'm saying? And it's a life. It was life stories. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I said. But your heart, it changes your heart, changes your mind, your perspective. You know what I'm saying?
I
And
hear that.
so, and I'm big on that, because guess what? That's it. It's a shift in your atmosphere. It's a shift in your direction, your path, the will that you want. You want God for your life. You know what I'm saying? And that's and I know you say you're gonna speak your truth, but don't ever feel like speak your mind, speak your truth. Like that's what we want. Never think that coming here, myself and Lady T, is a judgment. Nah, we want you to be encouraged, because guess what? Like I was telling her before, the most important thing is this: is that there are eyes to be seen and their ears to be heard. So no matter what, no matter how many people are here listening, those are the people that God want them to hear. You know what I'm saying? And if they come back, and it's a message for them to hear, so they can say, you know what, man, I never thought about it like that. Lady T put it so nice. Let me change up. Let me change my perspective. Let me change my mind. Let me really be devoted in searching and seeking the knowledge that I need to find. You know what I'm saying? That's what you want to do. You want to find something, you got to find it. It's there for you. Like she said, reading, and that's another thing too. A lot of people don't want to read.
Nope.
They don't want to read,
Nope.
because guess what? Now their motors are starting to run. They're like,
Yep.
and so now, it's too hard. I told you, remember I said you. That's the key. They don't want to be dedicated into something that's going to make them work.
Yep.
If somebody told you, listen, Lewis, we got a job over here for you. You're gonna make 200,000. All you got to do is do this. It's something simple. You'll jump on it quick. But guess what? That's not the job for you. But you'll jump on it quick because they talking about that money. You like, oh, that dollar, right?
That's
But then you
incentive.
get it.
Incentive.
Right. And then you get in there, it's not everything that you thought it was going to be. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing. Like, it's some people just want to go, and guess what? They want to go against the grain. Some people just want to go against the grain. That's just what they want to do. They don't want it. That, like I said, hey, if you put the work in, guess what? You gonna reap the benefits of putting the hard work, whatever it is that you do in life. If you
Yep.
work hard at it, guess what? It's gonna pay off. It's gonna be rough. It's gonna be tough, but it's gonna pay off. Go ahead. Let me see what this says.
So let me say this. You said something about messages. I think that a lot of people already like the already established agendas out there. We live in, I call it the Matrix. I love the Matrix movie. We are truly, I believe this. It is like we're living in a matrix of ideas, and we're in the matrix, and some people like the ideas of the system of life, and they get brainwashed by those simplified messages, is what I'll call it. It's a simple message, but they're not really going through the black and white, the gray area, getting into the messy, the complicated nuances in conversations, because that is where you get real understanding, is when you have that conversation that can be very messy, and it just gets you to have a better understanding of the other person's perspective. We need to talk about these. That's how we do the critical thinking. It's like that's how our brain is starting to really think about ideas and question the ideas of how we put our mind to think that way. We need to do more of that. So let me say this. This is my last one. For me, the biggest thing that I'm really trying to get brainwashed away from is the propaganda of consuming so much. I have a spending problem. My spending is because the propaganda of stuff, consumption. We are consumers. And we love to have so many nice things. And I like nice things. I like cheap things too. But I like things, and I'm buying too much, right? I have been brainwashed to buy, and I can see that. And I'm like, why am I doing this? And I shouldn't be. I told myself I wasn't going to buy this, but I did it anyway, because my brainwashing concept idea of have, I've got to get out of that. That is something that is very strong in me, because I have said on here before, I am walking into the direction, believe it or not, where I'm going to sell everything and follow the Lord. I'm going to just have nothing but the clothes on my back and some money, maybe. That's how I want to live. And you believe it or not, I want to be able to be free enough to not have the items, but I'm buying items. I'm always buying items. And now it's become food. I like different foods, so I'm buying all these different type of foods, and I don't even cook it, and then I waste it. I'm doing too much of consuming. So I think that brainwashing is something that we all do in life. Chef has not been honest about what he's brainwashed on.
Hey, don't do that. I told you, don't do that. Don't tell me.
We're gonna get you there, because you haven't said nothing. You kind of like in denial in a way. Maybe you need more time to think about it.
Hold up, Lady T.
Yes.
Listen, I'm not. I'm so serious. Like you think I'm joking? Why would I get up here and tell you that? Nah. What? I'm never. Nobody would ever tell you that Chef Dennis is a dude that you could trick. You could brainwash me.
Brainwash is tricking. It's not tricking. I'm not saying tricking. Just think about it. I understand when you say tricking, but think about how we all live in a life where we are getting an idea, a concept in our mind, and we follow it to the T, and we're like, yeah, this is my concept. I'm going for it. And we do it all the time. There's nothing you do with that.
No.
Church, I'll say church is for you. You stand by church, and you don't like it if anybody says you don't go to church.
See, that's where you're wrong at.
Okay.
You know why?
I'm listening.
Because right now I'm in the search of finding a new church home. I was going to my grandmother's church. My grandmother has passed. That church no longer exists. So I've been visiting multiple churches, and guess what? They do. Listen, I can tell you this. The churches I've been to, most of them don't have Bible study. See, that's the key. I want to go to a church that has Bible study now, but it's not even about me. It's about me being led by God, that the right place and right home for me and Esther. Esther is a minister. So I can't just say, you know what? This is a church for me and you. Stop going to your church. That's it. That's not how God works. See what I'm saying? She is an active minister on her board at her church. You understand what I'm saying? But her church is not the church for me and her. Yeah, so you got what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna just say, come, I'm the man, stop going there, we're gonna go to this church. No, I gotta find a home for us. But I'm gonna be led by God. That's what I'm doing right now. That's what I'm doing, looking for the right place for us. And like I said, I have to go there multiple times, see what they offer, see if and another thing. Well, I said Bible study, right? It has to have a men's ministry. It has to have that. You know why? Because guess what? That's where it starts at. Other men getting together. So guess what? We can teach our children about how to be a good man, how to have communication, how to respect one another and not get upset and not communication is key. It's key. Speaking to another man, regardless of how you may feel, but just having that one-on-one conversation. That's those are the two things that they have to have. It has to have a men's ministry where we go out, not just talking to people that's on our level, but people that we know that need that communication, that needs that inspiration, that dedication that we're gonna do. We're gonna do this every week, or we need that. You know what I'm saying? Believe it or not, that's why a lot of men don't go to church. They don't have that bond like women do. Women get together and they have a bond. Men don't do that. They don't have, unless if it's not brothers, like biological, they don't have that. You don't have a lot of organizations where I'm talking about a lot. You have a lot of women get together in different organizations, sit down and have a conversation, talking and loving on each other. Men don't do that. You know why? Because they do not have the right places for that. I ain't talking about going to the club. I'm talking about sitting there reading a book, reading. You don't got to be the Bible. Reading. Women do that. Tell me I'm wrong, Lady T.
That's unfortunate, but
and guess what? That's where it starts at, right there. The mind. Change your perspective. Change your mind. Because guess what? Men get too macho. They say, I'm not doing that. Guess what? We sit there. I have this book. It's The Measure of a Man. Man, it's tough. The Measure of a Man. Tell you about when you were a kid and how some of the things that you don't have, that's why you the man you are today. It's deep. Next session, I'll bring some of the things and it show you, because look at yourself and you gotta, and see where you fit in at. But yeah, we got look at Mr. Black sipping and tripping. And so let me introduce this is Desmond Black. This is Coach Lewis. It's my brother. And he has a podcast that's Sipping and Tripping. That's on Fridays, sometimes Saturdays. So it's sipping and tripping. They be tripping. Gotta get it in there. That's what I'm talking about. What's up, brother Black?
You brought that because we always talk about some Fridays, sometimes Saturdays. My schedule is all over the place, so I try to get in where I fit in. So when I'm off, I try to have one if I can get some guests, But my kids keep me up, so I get in where I fit in. That's it.
Okay, all right. So you wanted to chime in? I see you wanted to chime in. What you want to do? How you want to talk about?
Now, since I guess you didn't check your phone. I hit you like 45 minutes ago. Like that's why I put it in the chat. But you must got it on silent for the first time ever.
yeah, I got to, because Lady T say, "Yo, it be ringing in." I'll be like, "Oh shoot, okay, gotta put on stuff."
They don't blame me.
So, it was crazy because the topic about the whole brainwashing thing. You always flip this thing back to religion, bro.
Oh, so wait, hold on. Hold on. Wait a minute, sir. Wait a minute. Let me go back, because you missed it. Then this is
I've been watching the whole time.
But this is Lady T, not me. I'm not me.
No, that was her topic, but you flipped it to what you want. You
no,
Brother Lewis. There it is.
You brought it up. And I applauded because I wanted to get into it.
She was like, "Yes, get it in there."
I'm gonna take the blame on that one, because what Lady T was talking about, I think she was stepping into that, religion, and I said it. I don't think she wanted to bring it up, but I was the one that said it. I just ripped the Band-Aid off. You know what?
Yep.
We going to
yeah, I'm bleeding right now. I'm talking about.
I give you that, because initially I was watching her. She was like, "Here we go, my ears bleeding." But then as soon as you said something, I forgot what you said. You said something, and her eyes got big. I was like, "Oh yeah, she ready to go," and she jumped right in the deep end, man. So she was with it. But hey, Chef, man, talk about the Bible and biblical and God and all this. God don't judge, man, but like you judge a lot, right? Like when you judge people to go to clubs and all that, God don't judge. God accepts all who repents according to the Bible, right?
You want me to answer that?
I mean, it wasn't a question, but answer it. If you got feedback, go ahead.
Yeah, so it's not a judgment, because guess what? You gotta realize the person that you're talking about. If it's somebody that you know that you encounter with, and you say, "Look, man, listen, you ain't supposed to be doing that." That's not a judgment. You don't. I don't go. You don't go to a random person and say, "Yo, you ain't supposed to go to club. You ain't supposed to get drunk." No, you don't do that. That's
not your place. It's not your place to tell somebody else what to do and what not to do.
It depends on the
If you say,
individual.
hold on, if you say, you ain't supposed to do that, that's brainwashing. You know what I'm saying? Because hold on, they said the Bible came from where? Like Egypt, right? All that stuff, right? Africa and all that, right? And dancing, as y'all was talking about earlier, like dancing, man, provocative, that was a thing of the past. So in our message in the group chat, but you ain't throw that up there though. That's where self-control was more prevalent then, and whereas now it's not.
Right.
But dancing provocative was a big thing back then because you're supposed to have self-control, especially if you're a man of God or a woman of God.
Right.
Right? Dancing provocative was a thing of the past, bro.
Hey, listen, you look, if you allow somebody to deceive your mind, guess what? Then you can fall to the flesh. Then you can fall and make those mistakes that, guess what? You put yourself in harm's way. You put yourself in harm's way.
Let's talk about dancing. Now you talk about deceiving my mind. Nobody's deceiving my mind. The proof is in the pudding. It's one thing that
she said drinking and everything. You got to get bold at it. Did she not say that, Coach?
Yeah.
Hey,
all right.
Hey, you drink at church, right? You said drink this wine. Drinking is drinking, right?
Drink
whether it's 2%. What do you mean? They said the blood of Christ is what? When you drink wine in church, this is the blood of Christ. Don't play with me.
Hold up. Lady T, would you get that, please? Because
No. I kind of missed it at first, but we were talking about the alcohol and the juice and all that. What I said earlier, is that what you're referring to?
No, with the dancing and stuff. Yeah, you say you got a little bowl. Yeah.
I mean,
no, but can you answer that question?
Drunkenness is if you are drunk. We know we're not supposed to really be drunk. Drunkenness is not good. Okay. Reason why drunkenness is not good is just because you're not able to make good, clear, better decisions. That's what we say drunkenness. That's all. Drunkenness. Now, if you're tipsy, you're tipsy. I don't see now. Drunkenness is if you cannot hold yourself up, you cannot, walk, you cannot really see, you cannot remember, you don't know nothing. Now, when I say I got a little buzz, I'm feeling good, y'all. I felt good. There was my wine. I felt good. I don't want to be ashamed about it because I'm not drunk. I'm not sitting up here slurring in words. I'm not sitting up here, making a fool of myself or anybody else. That's drunkenness. So that is what we're not supposed to be. So when we talk about alcohol, I want us to really put it in the right perspective of drunkenness. Okay.
All right. That's okay. There we go.
In the Bible, how many people did God try to save that got drunk? And he still tried to save them.
Who he saved that was drunk? Who was that?
What you mean? It's in the Bible. You read the Bible, right?
No, you don't make statements. Don't make statements that you don't know the answer to.
I don't know the stories, all the stories.
Don't make statements that you don't see that. Look, there we go. Look. Hey, Lewis, this is what we talking about brainwash. Don't make statements because when you say something, make sure you state your claim and it be factual. Now we want you to know your facts, please, sir.
Ask you a question. I'm gonna say that for our next conversation, but you know what I'm talking about.
No, I don't know what you're talking about. What I want to know is this. But I really want to know is this. You said that you said they was drinking. Who drunk wine? You said Jesus drunk wine.
And they all did. What do you mean? Hey, you go to any church and they have the Last Supper. What's on that table? Wine. They all got that wine. Yeah. Go look at the picture.
They say wine, sir.
Yes. You went to church just like I went to church.
Right.
When they say the blood of Christ, what are they sipping on in church on Sunday? Not Saturday, Sunday. You bugging. You bugging. Hey, yo, Coach.
They drinking wine tea?
No, I get what he's saying.
Yeah, I get it.
Listen, it's stories of Jesus turning water to wine. We all know the stories.
Yeah. All right, and I'm saying to you is this. Now, if you look, and I'm dead serious. We say brainwash, right? Remember, on the Last Supper. I'm asking you, Desmond. They say he drunk wine at the Last Supper.
Absolutely, bro. In every portrait in every church is illustrated.
Now you heard what he said, right?
We-
Did you hear what he said, right?
Mhm.
Portrait. Now he didn't go and find out the truth. He didn't go looking for the answer. He just going on based on what he said and what he saw.
That's like the nativity scene, that story of the nativity scene, and that the how Jesus was born story. It's the story that we don't know the truth. So yes, we all do it though. We all have heard all these stories and don't really know the meaning behind it.
Can somebody read me Matthew 26, 28?
You read it. You got it. Read
Yeah,
it,
you
please,
got
sir.
it.
Yeah.
I got the Bible.
Ah.
I just know what I'm talking about. So I Googled it and they gave me that reference.
All right, can you read it for us, please? You like?
Oh my God. I don't have my Bible. I gotta look it up. All right, now you see.
There you go.
It's on there.
It's on there. There you go. That's go right. Hey, look, Lady T is the star of the show, not me. I'm just in the back. No, she is. What you mean? Lady T is running the show.
Just
all right, so it's the King James version. That's what you read, right?
Yeah.
This wine is my blood, which will be poured out to forgive the sins of many and begin new agreement from God to his people. This wine is my blood. Isn't that what I was saying? So in every church and every Bible, they talk about red wine is the blood of Jesus. They come up with them little nasty little cracker things and say that's his flesh. Come on, stop playing with me, man.
Yo, what? Hey, yo, what? Hey, look.
Bring your money and read it for yourself.
I'm glad you said that because there's something more to it. That's the thing. When we really read the Bible and understand
there we go.
The words in the King James Bible is our English way of hearing it. But if you go back to certain, that's the New Testament. So you go back to the Greek and you see what the Greek and then the Latin, what they said, the real meaning will come to you, but you have to read the words in that text. It's something about the King James English Version Bible that we are missing the true meaning. That's why I think Ecclesiastics was all about meaningless. We're in a meaningless world because we miss the meaning of words that were said. They're taking away the substance of what the true meaning of the words that are said in text. They're taking it away from us because we're not seeing through the veil. The veil is something that is hidden. We're kind of like, when we take our Bible, we're reading it as face value. Like, okay, this is it and this is it. There's nothing to it. There's more to it. Before us, there were generations of people that came before us and they were telling stories like this, but we don't know. And honestly, I'm going to be honest with y'all. I've heard people say that the Bible is all about the body. I don't know if you've ever heard that, but I hope that it comes to you in some way or form or fashion that you will hear that the Bible was written about the body, the man's body. And so when I took that, because I'm an open-minded person to listen to different perspectives, I heard it as that is possibly true because of the way the Bible was written. Because King James, if we read about King James, he has some issues now. He has some perversion issues.
Lewis, about that time. It's about that time, Lewis.
My kids asked me to help them with their homework. Yeah, it's about that.
Hey, listen, you ain't got. I know that sign, bro. I had a little one, so I know. You like, Daddy. You like, all right, yeah. So look, you gotta go, man.
I got homework.
Oh, okay, yeah. Look, listen, man. It was great to have you.
This conversation was great.
Yeah,
it was a lot of stuff that we didn't touch on. A lot of comments that I wanted to touch on.
Hey, listen, you always welcome to come back. You just hit me with a text. You always welcome. I'm serious, bro. As always, don't you got nothing to do and you want to come in and have the conversation. Listen, you always welcome. Always to come back, man. Always.
I gotta come back. I gotta come back when Brother Black is on here too, man.
I said it. Hey, listen, I'll set it up. I definitely gonna set it up. I'm for real. I will set it up. Brother
Listen,
Black would love to be on
love
here.
when people challenge the idea of others, because that's how we get different perspectives. You know,
That's
so
Right.
Absolutely.
yeah,
Absolutely.
I love how he was challenging it. I was like, okay, this 45 minutes ago, we might have been a different conversation.
I know. So we definitely
Man,
gonna bring. We
I only
definitely gonna
fired off
bring.
one shot. I got 38 in the clip though, so you know.
we got shields over here, dog.
Oh my God.
Hey, yo, bro Lewis, listen, man, it was always a pleasure. But listen, we definitely gonna link up and we're gonna get you with Brother Black. So go ahead and
do this again.
yes, we definitely gonna do it again. We're gonna talk, all right?
All right.
All right, talk to you later.
care.
All right.
All right.
Okay, so King James Version, getting back to, okay, King James. I don't want to miss where I'm trying to go, okay?
Yeah.
So if we learn about King James, who King James was, learn about a little bit of his history, there was an agenda. Everything had an agenda. Everything had an agenda. So my point is that the Bible is beautiful in wisdom, but we're not getting the wisdom. I have looked around at my people, about, all of us Christians, and we are not living life and life more abundantly. That is what Jesus came to give. We are living in poverty and a sad, scarcity mindset, because we have a scarcity mindset world that is giving us all this meat to eat. And when I mean meat to eat, words that are mistranslated, they're hiding truth. So you have to go deeper in the text. And I don't have my books in front of me, but one day I'm going to put some books, and I'm going to put my books to say, okay, look at this, go get one of these, so that you can go back and do your own investigating on the words. Because I know what you're saying. There's some truth about the blood. When he said, take this wine as my blood, there is something about blood that has to do with our body. Each of us have something to do with the blood in our body that we're supposed to do something with. I mean, we're all learning. I think this journey that we're all walking into is us learning together another perspective, because this is a different world. We're not living the same world when we were younger. We're not. This is a totally different world. And our understanding is getting more clear because information is getting out there. The time of disclosure is here, and I am so happy about it. I always be praising, because it needs to come out. There's lies have been told for way too long. Okay,
Some things I want to say. She killed me with this shit. Okay, I'm done. But two things I want to say. The one thing I wanted to say to Coach before he left, right? Like, because I know he's a teacher, right? Like, the curriculum is a tool, it's a guide, right? But everybody don't learn the same way, and that's how the Bible is. The Bible is just a tool, it's a guide. It is not the holy grail, it is not the gospel, it is not the only way, it is not the end all be all, right? It's messages in the Bible that you can relate to, that could make you a better person if you follow it, right? But to say the Bible is the way, it's crazy to me. It's foolery, right? Because we are individuals. We all got our own perspectives, our own ideas, our own free will, our own thoughts. It's what we make of our lives. If we want to be better in our lives, make better decisions. It has nothing to do with the Bible. That's the one thing I wanted to say. And that's why I was going to mention it to Coach, because he's a math teacher, correct? So, like, you could teach the same curriculum to 30 kids. 5 of them might not get it. Right? They might need that extra one-on-one. And that's what it comes to when you talk about religion. It's the same way. Right. You might need that person might need extra one-on-one. Being in a big group is maybe it's not for them.
Right. That's
one thing I want to say.
Churches for different folks. Like everybody.
No, not for different folks. No, that's not what I said. What I said, it's a tool, it's a guide. Just like a curriculum, it's a tool, it's a guide to help you learn. It's to help advance you. It's to help you, but it's not the end all be all. That's what I'm saying.
All right. So look, so just here's something for you to wrap your mind around. Look at the animals. Look at the animals. Each animal is different. Each animal in this lifetime is different. They don't eat the same. Look, they don't eat the same thing. They don't hibernate the same way. They don't live the same way. And that's the same thing with people. We do not all live the same way. But guess what? If the animal, like we will talk about a lion, right? A lion, right? Their habitat is different from a tiger, but they're a cat, right?
Their habitat is the same.
No, that
The habitat. You know what the word habitat means? Habitat. Their habitat is the same.
a tiger and
Just
a
like if you
lion.
talk about people, just like you talk about people, the
Well,
habitat for humanity
listen,
is the same.
a tiger do not live in the same habitat as a lion. A tiger.
Yes, they do. Yes,
No,
they do.
Lord have
Stop playing
mercy.
with me. Hey, do white people and black people live in the same world? Stop playing with me, bro.
Okay, let me say this before I forget. So, Mr. Black, let me say this.
Get
The
him,
way,
yeah. Get him,
the
T. Get him,
way.
T.
Let me say this. The way. When you hear the way about the Bible, in Jesus's time, the learnings that they were learning, they didn't call it Christianity. They called it the way. They actually called their teaching the way. I kind of think it is the Essenes that Jesus learned, because there's other texts out there that we don't really learn about, but there's text that says it's not the Essenes, it's somebody else. It's a group of people that he learned from. I could be wrong. It could be the Essenes. But the point is, they used to call it the way. I'll get more into that. So kind of look at it as when you know that part of the way they used to speak, that's probably still why they say the way. I'm going to have it for you. I'm going to find out, because when you said that, it clicked. Like, I remember I read that. I remember studying that in the past, so it clicked for me. So I'll have that for you. But I don't want you to look at it as it's not saying Christianity has become that type of way, though. We do have that mindset where we're like, it's the only way to get to the Lord is to go through Christian way. So I get your point of it like that, but it's not. It's more like Jesus's teaching of love. We are creatures. Animals, I always say we are animals in the human body. I like saying stuff like that. I'm not saying we came from apes. No. I'm not saying that. I'm saying we are creatures. Animals are creatures. The Creator created us. We are the creatures of the Creator. So I call us animals to group us all as, the same. But it's a joke type of thing. But I'm not saying we came from apes. I'm not doing that.
Right.
I'm not doing that. But the point is that we all know that there's something about us as human beings that we lost a lot of knowledge, and we just got to get it back. And I think that we're going to have to start seeking it for ourselves, because if you don't, you're going to miss out, or you're going to be off the bus and you're going to be kicked off the bus. You're going to miss the bus, but the bus is coming. I just see it as that. I mean, the bus is coming.
So let me ask you this. I asked Chef this on my podcast a couple of days ago, right? So is the Bible a book of history, or is the Bible a book of symbolism?
Both.
Nah. It's not possible. How?
Think of it.
All right, tell me how.
Because if you think of it as, we already know it came from history. It is history. We know it came from history. Somebody in the past wrote it, because they wrote it from what they experienced or what they heard. It was written. That is history. So that's number one. But symbolism is major, because we don't know the true symbolism, because we are reading at face value. We are being brainwashed to know the story and not the true symbol. That's why I said I could believe that the Bible was about the body of human beings, because there's symbols in there that say it. Like, think about Revelations. Revelations have many symbols, but the symbols are misinterpreted, or they're miscrewed because of fears, or because of other people's politics of what they want it to look like. So there are symbols. I say both. It has to be both.
I mean, I disagree with that, but it's all good. I understand when you broke it down. I understand your point of view of it. of it, but like, to be history, it's got to be the premise got to be based off factual things, and none of us can really speak on what's factual back then.
Okay, yes, you can. That's why I say you got to go back. I like when you
Mm.
come on. So one day, if you ever want to come on and you want to be a part of this, let me know, because I can give you a lot of history of old texts.
I can do the same thing. Look, he laughing. He crazy.
Woo!
I
Lady
can
C,
give
get
you.
him.
I don't have my notes in front of me, but there are
Mm.
books in there. When I say not books, it's not books. There are stone in it had etchings of the language in that time. I don't know the words to say it clearly without my notes and reading it, but there's a lot of history that's already in the past of the same stories we're reading in the Bible. That's it. That's basically it. All other cultures have a flood history story. All different cultures around the world have a flood history story. The reason why, because it happened in the world. And so there are so many people in the world, but they have different stories, different perspectives. So there's a lot of history that is coming from thousands years ago. I mean, hundreds of thousands of years ago. You don't even, people used to look up to the sky for, the whatever beings to come down, and they have pictures of it. The Vatican has a lot of knowledge of that. We don't know that because we're not being taught of it. You see it in pictures and you think it's make believe. You see Star Wars, you see Star Trek, there's truth in there. We just don't see it because we're not taught about it. But I love history. History is not reliable, but it is something that you can use.
Yeah, right. I mean, that's facts. History is not reliable.
It's not about being reliable. It is about telling a story that is the same type of story. And because you're telling a story, you're supposed to look at the symbols that make you understand the meaning. There's symbols. So our history is all about, think of it like this. My last thing, I'm going, because I gotta pee, y'all. But look, think of it like this. Back in the day, what we used to do when we were all like, people together, we used to sit down and tell stories. We used to tell stories to make us have some type of entertainment. And the stories we told had meaning in it. We were giving, some type of story to give a meaning of life. And so that's how life has been. We are always telling the story. But because we are taking everything face value as, Desmond, you're going to be in this scene and you're going to do this and this and this. We're phased. Like we don't even know what the meaning is. We're just watching you do. Desmond's going over there. He's going to do that. He's going to pick up that bowl and he's going to go sit down and he's going to look at TV. We don't know why you're doing it, because we're looking at stories. We're not hearing the meaning because the symbols are being lost. We don't know our symbols anymore. The symbols have been taken away and told us that we are not to look at the symbols. In the Genesis, it tells you that up in the sky is to be signs for the people. He put signs in the sky, and it's in Genesis for you to look at the signs in the sky. But we took that away, and then they told us that we're not supposed to know about astronomy. There's no way in the world that could be true, because we're being told not to look for the truth.
America taught us that, you know what I'm saying?
Well,
What's it say? Correct history mixed with symbolism. Nah, you said follow symbols. So it's to the Bible is a book of symbolism. Listen, the Bible is 85% poetry. 85% poetry, right? Because what's the difference between poetry and a regular conversation or regular dialogue and poetry, right? So when you read the Bible, it's not written for people to be like, oh, okay, boom, I understand that. It's riddles. You got to go this, you got to go this. Oh, let me go get the dictionary to see what this means. Let me get the dictionary to see what that means, right? So 85% of the Bible is poetry. The Old Testament, that is. Do you know? I asked Chef this the other day, right? Do you know who William Tyndall is?
who?
William Tyndall.
I heard the name. No, I could be wrong.
He is the first person that translated the Bible into English. And in his time of life, he admitted that he had to alter it several times because people wasn't understanding it. So that lets you know that the Bible is man-made.
Oh, yeah.
It's man-made. So if it's the Holy Grail, if it's something you're supposed to hold dear, if it's supposed to be history means it's the truth. right? It's an account of the truths in life, right? If that's what it's about, if the Bible was a book of history, it should not be altered. It should not be switched up, changed. I don't care if you don't understand this. I don't care if you don't understand it. This is the truth. Get with the program.
But look at it
Right?
like this. Hear it like this. Our languages are different, and our words, we don't always have the same word for the word in the original language. Like there are languages that cannot come up with a word with certain words that we use in English. So that has a lot to do with it. And the translation of words is trying to find a word that can fit a story of whatever was being said. So that's why mistranslations happen a lot too. So I get what you're saying though. It is about us having our, experiences. I'll say experiences.
Hey, Des, you want
No.
me to show you something that's intriguing right here for your mind? See, your mind.
First, hold on, 2 seconds. I just read this message. He said, it's not riddles for those who are immersed in the culture. Religion is not a culture. So what are we talking about here? If you're immersed in culture, religion is not a culture.
All right, look, listen.
No, come on now. Let's teach. If we teach it, let's teach. If we teach it, let's teach. Religion is not a culture.
It's like a culture.
No, you say it's like a culture. No. If something is what it is, it's not like. That's a replica. It's a duplicate. If it's the culture, it's a culture. Don't say it's like. Because now you're something like, you're not that.
Here, so let me break something down for you. So
you can try. You can try. Listen, I'm functioning on high frequency, brother.
You do?
Absolutely.
Have you ever tried living for God? Have you ever tried? Just ask the question, yes or no?
No.
Why not?
First of all, because religion is not to be forced on somebody. So that's the first thing. No, you asked me a question. You said why not? You said why not? It was forced on me. You cannot force religion on anybody. I'm talking about growing up in a house where, I'll buy you a brand new car if you go to church for 7 Sundays. So guess what? Now I'm like, what you promised me, that's what I want. So I'm gonna go.
That's and not then what I asked
after 7 Sundays, I go there and I'll be it is what you asked me. You said why not?
No, listen. I said, have you tried it?
And I said no.
And you said no, right? And then you elaborate on why you haven't tried it, right?
But you asked me, you said why not? So yes, I elaborated.
Okay, so before you knock something, usually you try it. Usually people try something. And if they don't like it, then they say, you know what? I'm not going to do that.
Okay. So when you first
why not?
Right?
So why not? No, I'm asking you now. Why not try it now? You have the ability to do it on your own now, and you can try it for yourself.
Hey, for 38 years, I was against it. It wasn't for me. So now you want me to try it for what? 38 years is a long time to sit there and say, you know what? Now I'm gonna try it. No, it doesn't work. What they say? It's a collection of stories. Okay, that's what I said. It's a collection of stories. It's not real life stories. Anybody can tell a story. The stories cannot be separated from the culture they were experiencing. It's not your experience. It's not nobody on this platform's experience. Like we can't talk about nobody else's experience.
That was their culture. He's saying the experience of that culture at the time, I guess. It makes sense.
Yeah, see, that's what he said.
Okay, I want to get to that. What the question you asked? What was the question you asked him? You said what?
Me?
Yes, you.
Hey, have he ever tried it?
Has he ever tried God? Is that what you said? Is that how you said it?
Yeah.
And you, Mr. Black, said no. Can you tell me what you mean when you hear that question? What does that mean to you?
What have I tried God?
Yeah, when he asked that question, tell me what it means to you, because I want to understand how you interpret that question.
Well, the way I interpret it is, have I tried saying, okay, listen, I'm going to believe the Bible and everything that's in the Bible. Go to say what all these churchgoers are saying to be true. That's how I take it. No, no, especially when I've grew up. See, listen, with the exception of my family's church, my grandmother, let her rest in peace, my father's mother, she owned 5 churches. And the one thing I say about her, and I always talk about these crooked people, this one thing she wasn't is crooked, right? And people that she felt that was crooked, she said, "You're not welcome here. Don't come here no more." Right? So I can't say she's crooked, but you just because she was like that doesn't mean there wasn't nobody crooked going to that church.
Right.
My father wasn't a saint. He was going to that church. My father's brother, which my uncle, he was crooked. He had that wickedness about him, but he was going to that church and he was accepted because why? His family. Sometimes you neglect certain things. I've seen a lot. I've been through a lot, and the church just wasn't for me. You know, and it's mainly because it was forced on me. Oh, you gonna go to this church? Oh, you got the devil in you. You ain't this. You ain't that. You ain't never gonna be nothing. Right? So that's spiritual deception. That's religious deception. That's deceit.
Okay.
You
Makes
can't
sense.
tell somebody if you preach that God don't judge nobody. How are you judging me? I remember one day I went to church, man, and I felt bad. I actually cried because my grandmother, she had to get rushed out the church in the ambulance because I came to church with earrings in my ear, and she said, "Oh no, that's not God's way. That's for women." She said, "The devil's inside of you," and she fell out, and everybody looked at me like I was a sinner. I was like, "What did I do?"
Right.
So it's just a lot of things like that. And all these people that talk about, oh, righteous, I'm righteous, I'm righteous. Come on, they all do dirt. They all do. We are creatures of habit. We cannot escape our past. None of that. We all commit crimes or sins to some degree on a regular basis. Chef always get on this platform and talking like he's perfect. He has road rage out the ass. But then he'll sit here and talk about somebody else that got road rage. So sometimes I be listening to him, I'm like, brother, slow down. You can't be the pot calling the kettle black. You can't do it. You can't
Sometimes
do
we're
it.
blinded. You know, we're blinded sometimes and we don't see it.
I'm
So
far
I get
from
it.
that. I'm
I
far
get
from
far
that.
from it.
Look. I know more people than him, and I guarantee you they'll say the same thing about me
You
on
know
the
more people than
regular.
me. Who
I
says
said it
that? I
earlier
know more
this
people
week.
than him.
I told you about yourself too. But look,
You
I think
or more people will tell you something great about me, and that what you just said.
No, I'm not. I never bash you. I'm not talking down on you.
yeah,
What I'm saying is recognize your faults. That's what I'm saying.
but
I recognize mine.
but
It's called
Mr. Black,
accountability.
but keep in mind, he did say, how did he say it? He said he had a problem with humility. And I think, you know, if he's being honest, sometimes he might still be working through humility as well. You know, I'm gonna say that for him because he said it out his mouth earlier about that.
But
So we're still walking into
when I'm wrong,
about humility, period. You mentioned something about, so I think that's still your journey about being, you know, humility
when I'm
and being
wrong,
humble.
what I tell you, I yelled at that dude in my job, and they said you ain't supposed to do that, D. And he said I'll get on your podcast and say that's not how you supposed to act. And guess what? It brought me to realization, and I was like, yo, are you right? And I had to go apologize to the person. That takes humility right there, because guess what? I could have been like, man, I ain't say I'm not apologizing, even though I didn't say nothing wrong to him, but it's the way I carried myself. You see what I'm saying? And how I was supposed to speak to people. I wasn't supposed to speak to him like that. He a man just like me. So that's what she's talking about.
But yes,
I get it.
I agree. He has road rage. I agree with you because I am on the phone with him many times, and he is honking the horn. He don't curse, but he'll put his little, you know, parental discretion word out there for whatever he's saying. I get it. So he does have road rage.
No, it's not. It's not road. Hold on, look, it's not road rage.
Yes,
look,
you know, when you drive 90 miles per hour and 65, that's road rage, bro. And when they don't get out your way, you're like, "Come on, man, what you stupid about? You shouldn't be driving. How do you get a license, bro? That's you every day." Well, I followed you. Well, look, hey, let me see. No, I'm not
I'm
capping.
not.
Listen,
He
when we hang out, I be driving, and he
capping.
like, just follow me. He be driving crazy. I'm like, I ain't gonna do that. He'd call me like, oh, if I put my turn signal on, but I don't turn, that means you go over first. And then he would go, oh, you see that sucker go? He almost hit me. Bro, why you doing 90 to 65? We talking about being righteous. That's not righteous.
He being
Bruh.
over the top with it.
I swear to goodness, he been over the top with it. Because that's what
No.
he in the business. Look, he in the business of talking foolishness. I'm not in the business of lying, nigga. I don't drive no daggone Skippy in a man. You busting trick.
They say
You
nigga.
daggone Skippy, bro. I don't care.
Hey,
I
got
get your butt out of here.
nigga.
Oh, boy, and get up out of here.
Oh, that was too funny. That was too funny.
Yeah, I know.
I can bring out the best in them if I want to.
Yes,
I mean, the worst in them if I want to.
Stop the cat. Stop the cat. Stop the cat.
Stop. Hey, ladies, I'm not gonna put his business out there, but he be on this platform, and he be like, I ain't never do this, and I be like, bro, say that to somebody that don't know you. The people that know you lying, bro. Don't do that.
Now I'm gonna get real. Like, you don't want to go get personal. Don't be talking about I'm lying. Don't come up here and say I'm lying. Don't do that, because I don't lie, nigga. I'm saying just like
never.
No. You want to ask me a question?
So you
I
perfect?
will tell you to your face.
Perfect? You perfect?
He might be in a little bit of denial. Maybe in a
That's
little bit of denial.
If
you deny something if you deny something you know is the truth, that's a liar. He's a sinner. We all sinners.
Lady T, tell him. See what I always say. Tell him.
I love you.
Tell him what my slogan is. What's my slogan?
Lie in the seat. Chef, lie in the seat.
Boy, you must be out of your mind.
Yeah.
I ain't in the business of that deceiver.
No, we know. We understand. Okay. He's saying a lot right now. Okay. Y'all close, and so y'all know each other very well. So yeah.
I tell you, the deceiver, the trickster ain't here, baby. I don't push out false information.
You can see people when you push the envelope about religion.
No, boy, you never in my life ever. Because guess what? Where my life is because of my religion.
Hey,
it's because of my faith.
You can lead a horse, but you can't make them drink it, right? But the moment you cross that line and try to force that into somebody, that goes back to what I said.
Did I force
you? Can't force religion on nobody. I'm talking about as a whole.
This was great conversation, wasn't it?
Lane see me talking, and her ears be bleeding. You're like, no, that's a lie. It's a lie. And I'll be like, oh, bro. She getting mad. I'll be texting you. She getting mad.
No. He's a hard shell. He has a hard shell.
All I know is this. It goes back to what I said. You haven't tried it. You haven't tried it.
I have tried it.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't. No. You ain't tried it. You ain't tried it. You just told us. No. You just told you no. You deceit. You just said it.
I didn't know. I didn't. You
now 38 years. All right.
I did say it.
Okay. Yeah.
Listen. No. If somebody forced you to do something, right? So let me. All right. If somebody put a gun to your head and tell you to do something, right? And it's not from your free will. It's not what you wanted to do, but because you was forced to do it, you tried it. You experienced it. To try something is to experience it. Correct?
No. If somebody forced you to do something, no, you didn't. No. You didn't try your own will. You didn't do it on your own will.
I didn't say nothing about free will. I said what I said is, if somebody forced you to do something, that means you tried it. Because to go through it, that means you tried it. If I sit there and say, yo, eat this apple, motherfucker. Eat this apple. And you say, I don't like apples. I eat it, bro. And you eat it because I forced you to. I said, I'm gonna whoop your butt if you don't. And you guess what? You tried it.
Look, did they put a gun to you? Look, did they put a gun to your head?
Essentially, if you want to put it that way. I'm glad you said that.
There you go. See, the cat.
When my father, no, I'm not capping. When my father, bro, I grew up rough, bro. Like, and listen, a lot of people grew up rough. The things I had to endure in my life, I shouldn't have had to endure, but I had to. That's force. So anytime you force somebody, you might as well say they had a gun to your head.
All right, so Des, look, listen to what I'm saying to you now. Look, I'm giving you an opportunity, right? You don't got to be forced. Just come and try to learn some.
It's too late for that. It's too late for because
it's too late for change.
Oh no! Never too late for change. I forgot exactly what she said when I first was trying to get on. Lady T said something about cognitive thinking. Once somebody got in their head and they get brainwashed about the Bible, and this is the way. Right? Once they get brainwashed, they go, oh, this is the way. They robotic now. Now that cognitive thinking is out the window. We can't think for ourselves. Let's think about technology now. Do people think today? No. People are idiots now. And that's why lately I've been saying the world's coming to an end. Because you ask somebody a simple fucking question, pardon my French, or a simple question, and they go, oh, let me go to Google. Like, because that cognitive thinking is out the window. That's how the Bible is. If you tell somebody this is the way, this is the way. Come on, bro. You're not thinking for yourself.
Who said
you're not thinking? She said something about the Matrix earlier. She was talking about the movie. That's all life is. Life is all about the Matrix. We live in the Matrix. And let me break that down for you. When I say the Matrix, let me say the Matrix. Right? We live in a simulation. The Bible says God already knows what's going to happen before it happens. Yes. Right? Yeah. And what is a simulation? A video game is a simulation. That's what we live in. A matrix. The life is an assimilation. It's already written. It's already planned out for you. Ain't no real free will in that, because you said this like a month ago, maybe 2 months ago about free will. Come on. We live in a matrix, bro. Life is already orchestrated. It's already the blueprint is already written.
Look, there's no free will, you saying?
No.
My brother. Look, hold on. You just prove that there is free will.
No, I didn't.
Did he not, Lady T?
No, he didn't. The reason why is because
he didn't prove free will.
No.
He said, listen.
She's been against you for 3 months on this topic, so don't go to her because she's not gonna stop with you.
He said he was forced, and I asked him, did he try? He said, I'm 38 years and I'm not going to try. That is his free will. He choose not to.
So
but what he's saying basically about the Matrix and how
I'm not talking about the Matrix. I'm talking about
hear me out. So he's saying that we live in a matrix. God knows what we're going to do. He knows everything that's going to happen. That part of our life that we are ignoring, how do you have free will if you already know that God knows everything, when you're going to die, what decisions you're going to make? He already knows. How do you truly have free will? This is exactly what I said when we had that topic that day, because we have a choice to make. You can make your choice, but you don't really truly have free will because you don't know what your next moment is going to be. You don't really know what it's going to be for your next day, anything.
Don't try to listen. Do not try to add and take away, because I'm gonna tell you this right now. There is something that keeps you from anybody going to commit murder, robbery. Okay, so guess what? You can do that. You can say, you know what? I'm gonna go kill this person.
So many people in the world do it every day. People die every day because somebody said, you know what? I'm gonna kill somebody.
Listen to what I said. I'm talking about you as the individual. You know the difference between right and wrong. The moment you know right from wrong, guess what? You make your own decisions. So you decide to live the way you want to do.
Making your own decisions is not free will. Why do innocent people die every day? Hey, why do innocent people die every day? That's not their free will.
What do you mean innocent people die every day? What are you talking about?
I ask you a question. Why do innocent people die every day? What if they was perfect their whole life? Like, let's say a 2-year-old, they die because somebody was drunk and they do something. Why do they die? Why do they die? They didn't choose that for themselves. No, I'm not. I could tell. No. Bro, I said, why do innocent people die every day? You talk about free will. You have the choice to live your life as you please. And I'm trying to prove to you that you don't. Nobody, like Lady T said, nobody knows what's going to happen an hour from now, or a second from now, or a minute from now, tomorrow, none of that. It's not free will. Because guess what? Everybody on God's green earth want to live every day. They want to be 1,000,000 years old. They never want to die. They never want to see their mother die. They never want to see their father die, but they die. It's called life. That's not free will, because free will is like, oh, I want to live forever. That is their free will, and mentally, I want to live forever. They don't have that choice. He just said free will is a choice. I want to be rich tomorrow. I'm not going to be rich tomorrow.
So
he said free will is a choice.
So misusing the free will,
choice.
what does that mean? I mean, when you misuse free will, how can you misuse free will? Free will is a choice, and he said it earlier. So misusing free will, I don't get it, but I kind of think, is that making a mistake? Is what he's saying.
Hold on. So look, watch this. Hold on. Here's the thing. Now I'm gonna show you this.
That means we're not in control. Exactly. So what? If you talk about free will, you what you're trying to say is we have control of our path and our destiny, right? He says that means we're not in control. You see that right there? So if we're not in control, how is it free will?
D, listen to this, man.
If you kill someone, that's misusing. But there are people that are in the army and that are in service to their country, and they are told to kill, and they are being told that they are serving the country for the greater good of the country people, and they are killing. That is real. So it's not misusing the free will. It is the choice that they make to do what they're doing. And so
everybody that goes into the service, that's a choice. That's a choice. Right. They choose to do that,
but they never thought they were going to kill most of the time.
Hold up, no, don't. I'm going back to free will. It's a choice. They're not made to do that.
What you mean?
I don't know about that.
How they get these badges and these medals of honor? They was made to do that. But guess what? When you go into the military, you don't come out the military the same. So you go in there with one choice. You talk about free will. Look. No, you talk about free will. You go into the military. You said the military, right? You go into it.
Yelling.
All right. Well, yeah.
Passionate.
yeah. Like you said, you got to come with the energy. But look, when you go in the military, you have one mindset. When you come out, you got a different mindset. A lot of people be shell shocked. A lot of people, they get bored and they be like, "Dang, I ain't killed nobody, and I've been serving for 10 years, and guess what? Now they want to kill somebody. They want to kill the innocent." Right? The military made them that way.
The bulk of it is this. We talking about free will, right? And free will, right? You have the ability to choose. Now, listen, if you didn't have free will, right? If you didn't have free will, guess what? God, now watch this. It's in the Bible. The Bible that you don't want to read. God would.
Hold. Don't say that because I read the Bible.
Yes, I see.
Okay,
I read the Bible.
If you read the Bible, listen, it tells you about free will, right? Now, guess what? God.
No. If you want to, that's your interpretation.
God wants.
Show me in the Bible where it says free will. It doesn't.
God wants
the churches.
Bro. Listen.
Go ahead. Go ahead. My bad. My apologies.
God wants everybody to be loved and give love to, right?
Oh, and you ain't say everybody, did you? Oh, you talk about sinners, but he want everybody to be loved, right? Like, so sinners get loved too, right? So why you criticizing? Why you talk about people that sin? God wants them to be loved, just like anybody else, right? That's what you said.
Hold up, listen. But before you listen, I'm gonna stop you right now because you
said free will to be sinners.
No, I'm gonna stop you right now because guess what? Listen, before you even begin to criticize something, you have to walk it. You can't even.
What did I criticize? I didn't criticize anything.
No, stop. You can't say nothing about that because you haven't even walked in those shoes to even begin to talk to that. Only thing you're saying is that no, it's not that. You haven't even.
No, what you doing?
You haven't even.
You're not walking either. You're walking with one shoe on, one shoe off.
You haven't even tried it. That's like you saying. That's like somebody asking you.
Have you ever more knowledgeable about the Bible than you are?
You have. You ever tried
coke? I have. Oh no.
Huh? Why not?
Why would I do that? Why would I do that?
Well, I'm making a point to you. Why would
my body's a vessel? Man, not a vessel. My body's a temple, and I care about my body. I'm not gonna be strung out or a zombie. That's not for me, bro. It's not for me. Just like the Bible.
Now, did he make my point?
The Bible ain't gonna make me a zombie either.
Did it make my point clear? Well, I said why you didn't do dope. Why you do crack? Why?
I just said because I care about my body.
He wants to be controlled.
Huh?
I say he wants to be in control.
You made that choice?
Yeah, absolutely. But everybody. So you try to tie this into free will. People make choices every day that don't go in their favor. So it's not free will. So what are you throwing your hands back for? It's not free will.
If you make a decision to do something,
Right.
God didn't make you do that. You did it.
It's called life. We talking. God can't make me do anything. God is not in human form. God don't put no gun in my head. God don't. God can't speak to. You sound foolish. You sound
God
foolish.
don't make you do anything.
When did I say he did?
That's why it's called free will.
No, it's not. We went through this definition before, so we're not gonna get to all that. Look, go ahead, lady, because I'm surprised she ain't pissing herself already.
Look, I'm going back and forth looking at y'all.
Look, this is interesting. I remember a time where, like, who's the other one? It was Lacey and somebody else. Oh my, where there's that? Like, it's crazy, bro. Like, I can get into this. Look, you always talk about you walk that life, and you say I haven't tried it, but how am I more knowledgeable about the Bible than you?
Oh, you can't be.
You're a real Christian, hiding and just not telling everybody. That's how I see
it.
Yeah.
No. I'm never saying
you're undercover Christian.
No, I'm not. Hey, like I said to Chef the other day, right? You know, according to biblical times in the Bible, right? The word Christian was an insult. It was originally an insult.
Ooh.
So why in the world do we accept that term?
Good point. You're very right about that, because the Catholic Church was creating Christianity in a way that wasn't.
It's a mockery.
Right.
It was it was a mockery. It was an insult, a mockery. But we accept it today. But like I said, I'm more knowledgeable than Chef.
We don't know our history. It's history.
On, man.
We don't know history. Oh yeah.
Come on, man. Listen, it's a reason why a lot of our people, our kind, Black people, say that Christianity started in Africa, right? And the original man is a Black man. It's a reason why they said it, because it started over there in Egypt and Africa and all that stuff, right? Now, on my podcast, I mentioned it. Chef says, no, just like that, no. That's irrelevant. It's not irrelevant, because if you talk about you know your history, but you don't know your history, that means you're irrelevant to the walk that you say you walk. You're irrelevant. Right. We can't be knowledgeable. We can't be stewards. We can't be pastors. We can't be bishops. We can't be ministers. We can't be teachers. We can't be leaders if we're not knowledgeable. And Chef says, what do you say to you all the time? He's a leader. How can you be a leader if you're not knowledgeable? Huh? How can you be a math teacher and you can't tell me what 1 + 1 is? You can't. You gotta master the craft to be a leader. And once you be a leader, then you get the followers, because they looking at you like, wow, I want to be like him.
But people are leaders.
Rocket this back.
People are leaders in knowledge that they experienced in their own life, and they can have their walking testimony to help another person. That's a leadership too. So put it as that, because I understand Chef as being a leader because of his own experiences, my own experiences, your own experiences. You have experience that you can help people, and you're leading somebody with your experience of, telling your knowledge.
So let me ask you this, because he said this on either the last episode or the one before that, when he was like, people that haven't been married can't give advice. That's blasphemy. That's blasphemy. That is false. That is false.
I've said that too. And I think I'm wrong in saying it. I've said it though. I've said it about people that don't have children. I've said it. The reason why I said it in my past would be
parent.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
I think
go ahead. Go, lady. I'm sorry.
So I think for me, I know I've said it. I can be honest. I think for me, saying it that way is because I don't see their experience with it. And so I look at it as, how can you tell me anything when you've never walked in it? It's just like somebody who is addicted to heroin, crack. If you know the feeling of trying to recover and get off of it, you can talk to another person that's trying to get off of it and tell them, encourage them, because you've been through it. You know what it feels like. There's something about experience that can help a person a little bit deeper than the one that doesn't have experience. So I understand, but I'm trying not to say those things anymore, because I'm not trying to be mean, because I don't want it to come off as if you don't know anything, I'm going to disregard your comment. That's not the way I want to go. But so I know I'm wrong with that in the past. So, but I know I've said it. but there is something about experience that does make a big difference.
Say something about experience, right? Like where we're missing the big picture here, right? When we talk about like, oh, if you don't have kids, you can't give advice. Advice is exactly what it is. It's advice, right? So let's just say you have kids, and when you talk to somebody else, that's just advice. And when you give advice, what is it? By definition, it's an opinion.
Right.
That's your opinion on that.
That's their opinion.
No, yes, their opinion on that. So everybody has opinions. So let me tell you something. As far as parenting, we all was kids at one point, correct? So we know what it means to be a kid. We know how our parents treated us. We know what we value and what we craved and what we desired from our parents, what we was lacking, what we gained, what we didn't get, et cetera, right? So therefore, we experience parenting through a different lens. Don't be one-dimensional here, right? Because if you're a child and you have parents, they was in your life. That's an experience that you went through. You can give advice because advice, you just admitted, is just an opinion. Everybody has opinions. So to take that away from me, it's criminal.
That's exactly what you just said right there. I'm gonna show you something. That's exactly why this is exactly why the world is messed up the way it is. And I'm gonna show you why. Because listen, if you a man, listen, you a man that do not have children, right? You cannot teach another man how to father a children. That's number one.
Yes, you can.
You only could teach him how to be a man, because guess what? There is something about a man that has children, how he navigates with his children versus how he navigate with other men. It's totally different. You have.
I feel the spirit. I feel the Holy Spirit right now. Hold up. Oh my God.
Passion for your children. And another man that you do not know, you're not going to have the same compassion. Guess what? Because you are a man.
Chef,
you're not going to teach what?
Chef,
you can't teach him how to.
Look, God speaking to me. Hold on.
Man, I got to get on this. What?
So every man that has a child know how to be a man or how to be a parent?
I'm going to say this one more time. You're not listening. You're not listening. I'm going to say this again. I'm going to say it slow so you can listen. You're not listening.
Oh. And so that's Christian-like, right? Come on now.
I said a man that do not have listen. So you're not listening. A man that do not have children cannot father and teach another man how to father to children. He only could teach how to be a man, not father children. He don't have any children. He is a single man, so his perspective is single. He's single. So guess what? He can't tell. Look, your son didn't do something right. I mean, you should go in there and spank him, because that's his perception of saying that's wrong.
I want to say
not teaching him how. Listen, go in there and talk to him. You know what I'm saying? Before you go in there and spank him. Okay.
Okay. Look, I think what both of you guys are saying is true. I think that it is true that you are a child and you know what your parents did. And so a man that does not have children can think of his own life, his own upbringing, and take that as his experience to try to father another person that is not truly his own. But he can take the role of a father and put the title on because he has been brought up by a father. I'm going to say that. Or not by a father, lack of, but that man can have understanding from his own experience as a child to know what a child looks like as far as being raised by a man being a father figure or a woman being a woman figure. So that's why I try to get away from thinking that way, because there are a lot of people that don't have children. They foster, children. They bring children into their own home to be a parent to that child, even though they don't have any biological children. And that is them being a mother or a father, because they're putting the role in to say, I was a child too, and I know what it feels like to be a child and how it feels to have a good father and a good mother, or lack of, but they know what it would be like. And so they're going to try to become that, okay.
They're becoming a parent. They're
becoming right, because we are walking.
Almost trying right now. And that's what I was saying. That's all. She just.
They're fostering children. They're becoming a parent. So now they can give advice. No kid.
He missed what he missed the beginning of what you said. You just backbone what I just said. She picked back what I just said.
No, listen. If you don't have no kids, guess what?
So you Christian, right? But you could tell somebody what they should and shouldn't do, though, right? Come on, man, stop. It's the same. It's the same shit.
If you want to listen, you don't have
Your life
to.
is your life. My life is my life. What
But-
works for you might not work for me. What works for me might not work for you. Stop playing with me, bro.
D, you can listen to what you want to listen to and walk
Hey,
your own path. But someone comes along and tell you,
a fool can teach somebody that.
Give you good
The
advice.
dummy-
You reject it.
Hey, a dummy can teach you a lot. You don't agree, do you?
Man,
A dummy can teach you a lot.
I'm getting off of here, man. Look,
Thank
you.
you.
Over here. Hey, come on. Matter of fact, next time, bring your butt on time.
We on time. That's right.
That's it. Now, how you like those?
What's time? You ain't answer your phone.
Send it in the comments. Send it in the
That's
comments.
I did because I was like, why he ain't answer me? So I was like, yo, why? If you see in the comments, I was like, man, what's the link, man? Because I texted him, I'm like, dang, he ignoring me.
Text me 7:35. You come here at 6:30. This stage starts at 6:30. But we out of here. See you later.
All right.
All right.
We out.
It was fun.